Hello, everybody, and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports for today's guide on how to watch the URC final. So we are down to just the last match of the season. It will take place in Cape Town. It is an all South African final as the Stormers host the Bulls in what is being labeled the URC Grand Final. And if you are looking in terms of how to watch it, I'm going to show you how you can watch it on a free-to-air channel with the use of a VPN, and we recommend using Express VPN because it is what we've used and tried and tested, and it has been very reliable throughout the entire season. So before we show you exactly how to do it, please do smash a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. We will be live for the match, so make sure you come and join us tomorrow. It should be a fantastic way to close what has been a brilliant tournament, and I think on the back of some very good quarterfinals, some fantastic semi-finals, hopefully we will see the Stormers and the Bulls put in a real shift tomorrow and provide a really entertaining game for us to really sort of bring the season to a close before we then sort of turn all our attention on the upcoming Springbok series against Wales. So in terms of how to watch, first of all, you have to download Express VPN. There's a link down in the description, and there's also a special offer for Forever Sports customers, so you can go and check that out in the description. And then once you've done that, all you need to do is to open Express VPN, and I'm going to show you what it looks like. It looks like that. So a little pop-up comes up like that, which is very good. And all you're going to do is you're going to go to, on the right over here, it brings up various countries, and you're going to select Ireland, and then you're going to click Connect. And what you're going to find is basically what happens once you do this is that it puts you on an Irish server, basically geolocates your PC so that it's an Ireland. And what happens with that is that it basically makes, as far as your sort of internet is concerned, it basically makes it seem as if your PC is located in Ireland. And the reason for that is because RTE, which is Ireland's national television and radio broadcaster, they are showing the game tomorrow, and it is a free-to-air channel, which means that you don't have to pay you don't have to sign up or anything like that. You don't have to pay any subscription fees and stuff like that, and they are showing the game. So if you go to RTE, and it's rte.ie, it looks like this. And so what you're going to do, so once you connect to the Irish server, you can go to the website over here, and then you go to the top right over here where it says TV, and that'll bring up over here, and then you want to go up over here to where it says RTE Player. And that'll into the player itself. And now if you look at the top right over here, it's got home. Why is it not working? There it is. So you've got the player and stuff like that, and you've got live, you've got box sets and kids. So you go to live. And what you'll find over here, if you look at the TV guide, that if you go to Saturday, which is obviously the tomorrow and the day that it's being shown, and you go across to the time, here you'll see it's got URC live on RTE2. So you go back to your player, and you can click RTE2 over there. And then this tomorrow at 7:30 South African Standard Time, it'll work. And you'll see you've got the entire player over here, which will work with the game live. And that's pretty much it. You don't have to pay, you don't have to log in or anything. You literally just download Express VPN. You go to the RTE player. We'll have the direct link to RTE player down in the comments as well. So all you do is you download Express VPN, you turn on an Irish server, you click on the link, and you'll be able to watch the game without any logging in, without any paying, anything like that. It really is very, very simple. So there's no reason why you can't watch the match live tomorrow. And while you do, please do come and join us on the watch along as well, so that we can chat about it together, and we can give our opinions, and we can see who is going to be crowned the first ever URC champion. Please do smash a like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Steven, and I'll chat to you soon. Lovely and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. It is time. It all comes down to one match, 80 minutes, and either the Stormers or the Bulls will be crowned URC champions as the URC Grand Final takes place down in Cape Town at the Cape Town Stadium at 7:30 South Africa Standard Time. A fantastic inaugural URC season finally comes to an end, and we will have a South African champion. The question is, will it be Steven Kitshoff or now Springbok teammate Marcel Coetzee who will be lifting the URC trophy, which, by the way, looks absolutely massive. Very modern and very new, and I quite like it, actually, the actual URC trophy design. But it all comes down to one game, and the Bulls are going with very much consistency. The Stormers have had to make a few changes to their side, and the question is, who is going to take it? Are we talking home ground advantage and the team that was more consistent over the entire season, or are we talking about a team who are now sort of going the reputation as just giant slayers and a team that know how to win trophies? We'll see in about just over 24 hours time. We will be live for the game, so please do come and join us and come and hang out. Please do smash like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel. We are over 11,000 subscribers. So the next journey is to 12,000 as we sort of venture towards sort of the bigger numbers. So please do become part of that journey. In terms of the two sides, this is how the Stormers line up. Now, the injury to Leon Zas has necessitated a change in position for Sibele Senatla, who will line up on the other wing, and Sergio Peterson has come back into the side. A very capable replacement, though, is Sergio Peterson. It's almost a year ago that we saw his tremendous display against the British Irish Lions, where I thought that he played particularly well and really sort of rose to the occasion. So hopefully, for Stormers fans, he'll be able to rise to the occasion once again and really come good tomorrow. So in terms of the front row, Steven Kitshoff, JJ Kotzer, Frans Malherbe, Marvin Orie, and Sal Murat is the tight five. So I think that this scrum battle will be very interesting because that is where the Stormers can really assert their dominance. I do think they will have a better scrum than the Bulls do. And I think Steven Kitshoff and Frans Malherbe, if they can get the better of that Bulls front row, that'll provide a very important platform for the Stormers. Their maul was also very useful last week, and I think that that's going to also become a pretty important weapon for them. JJ Cott's going to have to make sure he hits his lineouts because, I think that with the maul being so important, stuff like that. We're talking about final rugby. We're talking about rugby, and especially because it is supposed to be potentially quite wet. There is a rain forecasted for in the morning of the final. In theory, nothing during the match, but Cape Town weather changes so much, you can never be assured of anything. So the set pieces are going to be so important because the Bulls are also very much a set piece driven side. Dion Fourie, Hachiba Diamani, Evan Roos, two of those players have been given Springbok call-ups. So Dion Fourie, who will be playing his 100th match for the DHL Stormers, will be out to impress and out to really sort of show, yes, he's old. Yes, he doesn't have a long Springbok future ahead of him, but right now he is worthy of his place in the squad, and right now he's worthy of a Springbok cap. That's what he'll be thinking going out to improve. Hachiba Diamani has sort of reinvented himself at the Stormers. He's playing such good rugby and looks like a whole different player with sort of the shackles removed after his struggles at the Lions. And then Evan Roos has been voted the Players' Player of the Season. So, we're talking about one of the best players across the entire season. The question is, does he have the mettle to be able to stand up when it really counts and be able to get his side over the line? Herschel Yankee's partner is Mani Liebach. These two are going to have a good game. And I thought that Mani Liebach, whilst he was the hero a week ago, did not have his best game. And he needs to make sure that his place kicking, his game management, all of that are much, much better this week. It's quite sad that a player who has played so well had a bit of an off game, but at least did have a chance at redemption. He has been the leading point scorer the entire season, and he'll look to try and add to his tally tomorrow. Sibele Senatla will have a lot more attacking opportunities out there on the left wing. Sergio Peterson taking a residency in the number 14 jersey. Damian Willemse on the back of a man-of-the-match performance last week starts an inside centre with Ruan Nal Warrigalant in his final Stormers match. Will be looking to go out on a high. Off the bench, Andrew Hugo Venter, Brock Harris, and Nietling Verscheer will be the reserve front row. Ernst van Rijn, Junior Pokamela, and Nama Klaba do complete the rest of that 6-2 split. So in terms of the forwards, Pokamela has come into the side ahead of the suspended RJ Smith, who was red card last week for eye gouging. Ernst van Rijn shifting to cover the more lock position. Junior Pokamela and Nama Klaba, I think, are two very nice players to bring on. To be honest, I think actually I prefer this bench than I did last week because I think that Ernst van Rijn can do the job that RJ Smith did, but I do think that Junior Pokamela adds a different dimension to the Stormers sides. Gola Masimla and Sasha and Ngomazulu are the two replacements there. Masimla had to play a lot on the wing last week, and interesting on the back of two matches where they have had to have their reserve backline players play out of position for an extended period. Very interesting. The Stormers continue to back the 6-2 split. If we look at the Bulls, this is how they line up. So in the front row, Geo Steenekamp, Jan Grobbelaar, Morne Smith. Jan Grobbelaar very much will thinking that he deserved to be in that Springbok squad, hasn't been called up, and then therefore this is an opportunity for him to prove to Springbok selectors that he should have been backed and he should have been given the opportunity. So a potentially massive game for him. Geo Steenekamp, Morne Smith, well, come with the hour, come with the man. You know, they're up against two World Cup winning props. But if there's ever a time to really stand tall, it is tomorrow. And I thought they were very impressive against Leinster, just to try and sort of hold a couple of the scrums. You know, and at the end of the day, they will be dominated a few times tomorrow. It's more, can they just anchor and allow it, especially the attacking scrums, to be recycled? Well, Steenkamp, Bruno Nokia have been very consistent, and I think we'll see much the same tomorrow. Marcel Coetzee, Arno Botha, Ulrich Lowe are very, very much an informed loose chair. I thought that Ulrich Lowe had a pretty poor game 2 weeks ago. I thought he looked much better last week. Marcel Coetzee looked very good last week. Some people are even saying Arno Botha deserved to call up to the Springboks. So it's a loose trio that complements each other pretty well. And then they continue to back Zach Berger and then Chris Smith to do the job. And I think it's fair. You know, they had done the job throughout the season. Chris Smith very much proved a sort of worth against the Sharks with that last-minute drop goal. And especially the conditions get wet. I think he's a fly half that would suit a tight sort of final situation, probably more than Mani Libbok. So he'll be very much sitting there thinking, you know, if there is another Springbok fly half that is required and somebody else needs to be called up, I can play test match style rugby in terms of very much game of margins, in terms of managing the game, in terms of taking control. Madosh Tambwe, Kanan Moody, Kurtley Orense, a very exciting back three. Kurtley Orense is drafted back into the starting lineup a week after being named in the squad. Kanan Moody is someone who is just destined to play rugby at the top level, and Madosh Tambwe has been in scintillating form. So those back three will be looking to try and exploit the Stormers. If they give them any space, they will find it. And then Harold Forster and Cornel Hendricks in the centres. And Cornel Hendricks, again, a bit of a controversial one. A lot of people saying he should be in the box squad, but continue to be issues with his medical side of things with the Springboks. So, you know, again, he'll be out to prove a point to just say, I'm good enough. And as soon as you want to accept the fact that medically I can play, I'm ready. Off the bench, Bismarck du Plessis will be the calm head, ironically, in between Superior Mantanzima and Robert Hunt, who deserve to be, especially someone like Superior Mantanzima, who I've been very impressed at how he stood up throughout the competition. They'll be looking to try and anchor the scrum in the second half. Janko Swanepoel, WJ Steenkamp. I thought Janko Swanepoel in particular was very impressive last week when he came on. I think he stole about 2 lineouts, very important steals as well, and he'll be looking to try and disrupt the Stormers set piece. You then got Mbrosa Pierre, Morne Steyn, and David Creel. Very solid players, you know. Mbrosa Pierre, Morne Steyn, very experienced, and I think David Creel might not have the X factor of a Kurtley Orense, for example, but he is he's a solid player. You know, he's nothing particularly out there and fancy, but he does everything very well. And that's kind of what you need in a final situation, because you want somebody who can come on and you can rely on him. And I think he is one of those sort of players. There are two very good sides. There are two very informed sides. You do feel that Stormers will have the upper hand from a home advantage point of view. And also, obviously, you know, winning a game in that fashion will make you desperate to succeed this week. But Bulls will be sitting there thinking, we conquered Leinster away in Ireland. You know, we can do it against Stormers. So a lot of very different mentalities going into it. It should be an absolute cracker. 31,000 people are expected to be there. It could have been a lot more, but unfortunately they couldn't get the stadium up to full capacity. It will be 31,000, which should still be a rocking atmosphere. We'll be live for it, so make sure you come and check it out. Check out the description as well in terms of how to watch the game. You can watch it on a free-to-air broadcast in RTE using a VPN like Express VPN, so check out that in the comments as well. As always, please do keep well. Smash a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Steve, and I'll chat to you soon. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. It is a Wednesday. It is live, Wednesday night live, as we build towards the weekend of URC final action, as we build towards the weekend Currie Cup action. in the middle of the Springbok preparing or starting their preparations for Wales. It's all starting to happen, isn't it? And today, sort of, I thought we'd talk about a little bit about the current situation within South African rugby, where South Africa currently finds itself from a rugby sense, and in terms of point of view, in terms of, is this one of the best places South African rugby has been ever, or since the professional era, in terms of pretty much everything, the entire sort of overall position that South African rugby kind of finds it, in terms of player exports, in terms of international team performance, in terms of franchise performance, in terms of youth structures, in terms of seven structures. I do think that we are in very much a golden era of South African rugby, and maybe something which has been coming for quite a long time, given the fact that the South African, for example, the South African schoolboy structures are so strong. I think um, we've been waiting for sort of seeing the results, stuff like that. So yeah, I think we'll just discuss it, and I think that there's lots of different things that sort of go into sort of the concept of the world, the rugby powerhouse of the world. Now, your biggest thing will always be your international teams. And I think that one of probably the biggest letdown in kind of South Africa has been the lack of development from a women's point of view, in terms of women's rugby, because it has been something that's been neglected for many years, and they are now starting to get the process going. We had a press conference at the beginning of the year in terms of a new women's performance director, basically. Who's going to be sort of driving the whole women's setup in terms of trying to quickly sort of catch up to the other women's sides. If you look, for example, the Women's Six Nations is very big, and the teams, and for example, England at the moment are just the complete dominant side from that sort of view. But if we look at sort of the various different sort of aspects of different rugby institutions, worldwide, I think that we are sitting in a bit of a golden era, especially in the men's game. I don't think we've ever been there. In such a good position. But we're going to sort of talk about it. We're going to sort of break it down exactly what I sort of mean when we talk about sort of the rugby power stuff like that. But let's use in the comments. So Benabota says, first, when you consistently beat the All Blacks, let's see what 2022 brings. If we can beat the All Blacks twice in France in the end of the year tour, we can solidify this, says Brent Titus. Mathematics says, I would argue we aren't the powerhouse. I would argue we are the largest, possibly the best producer of good quality of rugby players in the world. And we obviously agrees with that. Hello, Sebron Swart. Hope you're well. I think the time will tell when we play New Zealand and Aussie teams in the Rugby Championship. TV, the Box need a storming season this year to claim that title. I think wins against New Zealand, Ireland, and France ought to do it. We are world champs, says Ronnie, and Vic says we are powerhouse in terms of our plethora of talent. So let's sort of focus on that because... Well, let's sort of look at the different things, shan't we? So, I mean, if we're looking at South Africa rugby, and there's different sort of aspects to it. First of all, if we're looking at a player point of view, South Africa has statistically has more professional rugby players and exports more professional rugby players than any other nation in the world. So we have, I mean, of all the professional rugby players around the world, I think we have. We export the most talent, for example. And I think there was something like 800 players are playing outside, are playing professional rugby from South Africa. And I think that's actually from outside of South Africa, are playing, in leagues all around the world. And that's not just top 14 and Premiership. And Japan, for example, we've got players playing in Major League Rugby. We've got players playing in different leagues all over the world. But I think that, in terms of the talent that we export, I do think that we are one of the top sides and top countries in the world. If you look at, for example, the Premiership team of the season, so the English Premiership rugby, there were 3 South Africans in the Dream Team. So they made up a reasonable portion of the Premiership Dream Team, for example. If we look at the top 14, La Rochelle have been, or the European Champions Cup, for example, La Rochelle were crowned champions. There were 2 South Africans in that side. And Raymond Rulli has been one of the top performing wings in the entire Champions Cup. In fact, a couple of the publications of the coming Champions Cup named him in sort of the Champions Cup dream team or team of the season. If we look at, at the Premiership sides, for example, you look at some of the best sides, how many South African players are scattered in amongst the Premiership itself. We even had South African players within some of the top URC teams outside of South Africa. For example, Munster had Damon Delendi, Arceus Name. You got Jason Jenkins over there on the books, for example. How many South African exports, for example, currently playing in Scottish sides or in Scotland? And now, if we look, and even before we start looking at our national side, if we look at our franchises, for example, South Africa does now will have the URC. That's great. The URC champions, for example, we've got an All South African URC final this weekend, which means that we've got the top 2 sides in the United Rugby Championship. We are going to have 3 sides in the Champions Cup next year, so it'll be interesting to see how they do there. We're going to have 2 sides in the Challenge Cup as well. So the Cheetahs are going to bring it to the fore. The Currie Cup is the oldest rugby competition in the world. And then you've got to look at our national setup, for example. So currently the Springboks are sitting at number 1 in the world. They didn't win the Rugby Championship last year, and they did lose to England, but they are still currently the world champions as well as the number 1 ranked side in the world, and as well as having just won the British and Irish Lions series. So I do think we're sitting with one of the best Springbok sides that we've ever had in terms of a success point of view. For example, if they were to go back-to-back World Cups next year and they were to win the World Cup, they would go down as the best Springbok side of all time. So I do think we're sitting in a golden era of South Africa, and what was interesting for me, and the reason I'm asking this question, is I think that for years and years and years and years, New Zealand have always been the powerhouse of world rugby because they've been so dominant from an international point of view, and they were so dominant from a Super Rugby point of view with the likes of the Crusaders, who just won so many Super Rugby titles. So New Zealand were always the standard, weren't they? They were the golden standard for rugby in the world. But it was always difficult to sort of compare, Crusaders to top 14 sides and Premiership sides, stuff like that, where it's becoming a lot easier to compare our sides because we're now playing against them. So for example, currently the Bulls are better than Leinster in terms of a head-to-head they beat Leinster type of vibes. So, you can then argue that South African franchises, South Africa have a better franchise than Ireland, Scotland, Wales, and Italy do. The question mark is, do they have a better franchise than the best franchise in the Premiership? Or best team in the Premiership, the best club in the Premiership. The same thing goes to the top 14. We can't make that call yet, but in a year's time, we can start making that call because they will be playing in the Champions Cup. And unfortunately, until we start seeing like an international club competition, we'll never be able to test ourselves against these Super Rugby sides again. But what I will say is I think that New Zealand, in terms of the All Blacks, I think they are very much going through a transitional period, and they've lost that sort of aura of being this unbeatable, nobody can touch you type side. And that's not to say that they've got a bad side, but if you look at the last 18 months, they have been beaten. We've beaten them. Australia has beaten them. Argentina beat them 2 years ago, or 18 months ago. Ireland beat them. So they are a beatable side. They've lost that sort of, you just don't beat the All Blacks, that kind of aura, because remember, that 2015 All Black side was just childish. It was how badly you're going to lose type thing because they just did not lose matches. They went to back-to-back World Cups. They produced world player after world player after world player, and they were an incredible outfit. I think they have lost that because they are suddenly going through this new transitional period. And I think I look at, for example, their tied 5, and I no longer have that fear of playing the All Blacks. I feel like we now go into matches thinking, even if they're away, we can win this match, that we are as strong of a side, and that there's no reason why we can't beat the All Blacks, which wasn't always the case, 5-6 years ago. So, you can never be able to sort of firmly say South Africa is the rugby powerhouse of the world. But I do think that if we're looking at New Zealand, France, South Africa, and probably England as the top 4 international sides, and Australia sort of starting to step up a little bit, and Ireland have their moments, but I would say those are the top 4 rugby countries in the world at the moment. We're talking about France having won the Six Nations and having the top 14 side win the Champions Cup. We're talking about New Zealand being still the second or their third ranked in the world. I think those are the top 4. If you look at the world rankings, I'm pretty sure those are still the top 4. I know that Australia was moving up the ranks, but if we're looking over here, so Ireland is still ahead of England. Yeah. So I suppose, there's an argument to say that Ireland actually is ahead of England in terms of their world ranking point of view, as well as having a Leinster, which did go further than an English side in the European Champions Cup. But there's a whole argument that Premiership Rugby, for example, is a stronger league than the URC for. So I mean, it's always gonna be a very difficult argument, but I do think that this is a golden era of South Africa. And then we look at, for example, the sevens, and I think that the sevens wise, they have been pretty poor in the last 2 or 3 tournaments. They have had a lot of injuries, and it's been a very different side. But before then, they were setting records in terms of just not being able to lose tournaments. And a lot of people sitting there saying, "Oh, well, they're only doing this because Fiji and New Zealand weren't there," and they weren't there. But I mean, what are you supposed to do? You can only play who's in front of you. And when they have come back, it hasn't always been those teams that we've been losing to lately. It has been other sides as well because we are struggling from a injury perspective within the Blitzbox. The Blitzbox will still be going into the Rugby World Cup sevens, for example, as one of the favorites. So yeah, I do think that there is a certain argument that can be made that South Africa is becoming the new sort of rugby powerhouse from a complete overview of international talent, of the national side, of the seven side, of the team, the clubs within the country, which is quite interesting. So, what are some people saying here? Just was saying, I think the professional structure is really good with the URC and the Currie Cup and the European Professional Club Rugby competitions. Madrid says, I think it would have been ideal if we had top 4 playing Super Rugby and the following 4 playing the URC. We would have been unbeatable. I personally think that the Champions Cup will suit us a lot and will test us a lot more than the URC would. So I think that we've definitely made the right decision from a strength point of view. Yeah, there are certain sides in the URC which I don't think are as good as Super Rugby, but you do get to play against the Leinster. You do get to play a Munster. And now with the Champions Cup or Challenge Cup, you're going to be playing, some of the best sides in the world. Chris says, I feel we still need to build out our depth at 5 as well. Nerves with only having 2 specialists in the team. Ivan says, absolutely, you can't just look at our national side with the amount of quality players we pump into the system, even those that apply themselves overseas. No other country does hit our numbers. Chris saying New Zealand, they know when they leave the country, they can't play for New Zealand. So that's one of the reasons there aren't more New Zealand players abroad. Having a lot of senior rugby players in Europe was what changed the game for us. Now we have experienced senior talented locally and internationally, says Vic. Methodix says, I think we have like 50 plus players in the Major League Rugby. Captain Crunch saying over 100 SA players playing across Europe and Japan. La Rochelle lost to Stade Toulouse. Yeah, but they are still European champions, so I don't think they really care. Which one would you rather? I mean, it's like winning the Champions League versus winning the Premier League. You want the Champions League. Would like to see a Rugby 22 updates their players and team ratings and how Stevie react. I mean, I gave up on that bloody game. Chris says, an old boys club there in New Zealand, they're trying to keep the domestic rugby strong. HJH, who is a Forever Sports member, says all of our players in overseas teams does not translate to Springbok victory. Let's make certain that there's no more shenanigans in that area before we get ahead of ourselves. Well, the Springboks are currently the number 1 side in the world, so could be doing a lot worse. I don't think we will miss playing in Super Rugby. Leading Super Rugby makes the Rugby Championship more special. It's an interesting point. We'll never have a better chance beating the All Blacks twice in a year than we do this year. 100%. That All Black squad announcement doesn't strike the fear of God in me that it usually does. 100%. And I think that's very much also where I'm at, where that New Zealand did name their squad. I didn't sit there going, we've lost the Rugby Championship. I sat there going, like, this is the time. This is really an opportunity for us. And I said, playing to New Zealand twice in South Africa, it's a New Zealand squad which I don't think are as strong as possible, and I think we can have a go at them. I think that there are question marks over the New Zealand coaches, for example. When have we sort of ever really seen that? And that shows you that they're maybe not playing that as well as they are expected to play. So Vic says, who's also a Fair Sports member, so if you'd like to become a part of the members club, it is in the link in the pinned comment there. We really do appreciate all the guys that do sign up. We really do appreciate the support. It keeps this channel going. And he says that coaching strategies are caught up to that super fast attacking rugby that New Zealand players. They won't dominate as easily before. Hi, Eddie, hope you're well. Chris saying, I'm aware I'm a South African expat living in New Zealand. I just love rugby as a whole. And when SA doesn't play, I support New Zealand. Chris Claying says that I can't see Australia ever being the top side. I think they above their weight. There's almost no interest in rugby in Australia, probably their 5th biggest winter sport. And he says SA lost to India by 50 runs. Feels like the match was fixed because the last 2 games have been worthless. Stephen is the best rugby YouTuber. Thank you. I appreciate that. Self-Talk says, even when South African teams were in Super Rugby, the only team that was successful since the competition started were the Bulls. The way you test which team is the best, you have a whole rugby comp where women and men play 15s and 7s play. Really interesting. Imagine it's like a rugby festival. You got like a Rugby World Cup happening at the same time as a Women's World Cup, at the same time as a Sevens World Cup, both women's and men's. That'd be quite cool, actually. Honor Buerta hard done by with no Springbok call-up. Anyone agree? Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't select him. but he's playing well. And I wouldn't select him because he's not playing well. It's just the age-old issue with you just don't want to be a loose forward in South Africa because our loose forward depth is pretty disgusting. Would be third in the world if we lose one game against Wales. I suspect the All Blacks are in for a rude awakening when they visit us this year. I hope so. I very much hope so. And yeah, we've now got Wales coming, which is not going to be an easy task. But if you do go and beat them, for example, 3-0, you keep that number one spot alive. But I do think that I think we are playing Wales at the end of the year. International rugby fixtures. Let's see if they've got them all. So here, in October. This is on World Rugby's website. Who's this now? Rugby World Cup 2021. No, hang on. Where we at? Yeah, Autumn Nations series. Yeah, so we're playing against Ireland, and then we're playing against France, and then we're playing against England. So we are playing the top three best European sides at the end of the year, and we're playing against Sweden, Australia, and Argentina, and we're also then playing against Wales. So the only sort of so we in terms of the men's rankings, we are playing the second ranked side this year. We're playing the third ranked side. We're playing the fourth ranked side. We're playing the fifth ranked side. We're playing the sixth ranked side. We're not playing the seventh, but we are playing the eighth and the ninth. So we are playing against 8 of the top 9 teams this year. So how cool is that? That we really do get to test ourselves against the best teams in the world. And if we do have a good season, and I'm not expecting to win every match, but if, for example, you go and beat France away, for example, and you beat England, and you beat New Zealand, for example, or you beat Ireland, France, or I think that we could make the statement by the end of the year that this is one of the best sides we've ever had because we are playing against the best teams in the world throughout the season. So it's going to be a really cool year, and I'm really excited for the Box Box season because I don't think we're going to have such a cool season for quite a long time. Time and Attention says the Bulls have done it right this season. They're in curriculum semis and Curry Cup semis. I think is obviously all correct too. And URC final. If we win the Rugby Championship, we should be the best. Mr. Obo, the latest member to the Forever Sport Members Club. Really appreciate that. Thanks so much. We are trying to actually hit 50 members at the moment. I think we're sitting in our 30s. So thank you to you guys. We got up to 11,000 subscribers. Which was really cool to get past that. Now we want to try and build a bit of our membership offering. So we've got some ideas in terms of what we can be able to give our members to make it a bit more special for them. But obviously the general rule is no content will ever just be, all the content we put out will always be available for free. And that's who we are. Honey says, think Bulls are the powerhouse of world rugby. Jean says, this Roger Tours Czech guy got called up too early to the All Blacks Ireland. I'll probably go to try and bury him under defensive pressure and high kicks. Against who will the SAA side play? Yeah, so I haven't seen anything on confirmation of that, and I was trying to find the article which spoke about. I think it was an Afrikaans article. Might have been a report. I'm trying to see where it was, where there was rumors that they might take a larger squad to Europe and play midweek games against clubs, which would be really cool. So you could have like SAA versus Saracens or SAA versus Leicester Tigers or something along those lines. Stormers to win, Records Louis. So I'm a member shop for the contest, Steve. Well, thank you so much for the support. Really do appreciate it. Louis going 34-35, I think, for this weekend. Jess says, are you most excited than usual about the Rugby Championship or the same? I'm very excited about this season. And probably more excited about the Rugby Championship than last year because I think last year we were just so British and Irish Lions orientated and then we kind of just rolled into the Rugby Championship. Whereas this year it's very much like Wales is going to be this preparation, which we have to win. We can't lose. But there's always going to be that one eye in Rugby Championship, whereas last year, full attention was all on the British and Irish Lions. Matthew Dixon said, I watched the Heineken interview yesterday. He says you should really only look at who the favourites are 5 months out from the World Cup. I kind of agree, 100%. Although I think that France is immediately a favourite given the fact that it is at in France. Who will play eighth man? I don't know, actually. I mean, you got Evan Roos, you got Kwaka Smith, you got Jasper Wiese, you got Ulrich Lowe that can play there. So I'm very interested to see who we do go with at eighth man. I personally would pick Kwaka Smith for the first game. I think that he really stood up last year and put his hand up. Probably more so, I think, than Jasper Wiese did. I think Jasper Wiese had that really good game against Argentina, but I thought overall, Kwaka Smith had a better season. But otherwise, you can go with Jasper Wiese with Kwaka Smith on the bench. And then you could look to bring in Evan Roos or Ulrich Lowe in the third test, for example. Or else you can give one of them a debut and say, right, go for it. Have throw them into the cauldron and let them sort of cook. I know that Jasper Wiese sorted out a lot of his disciplinary issues, but I thought that his soft skills last year weren't good enough. So I'd personally prefer to see Ulrich Lowe and Evan Roos ahead of the pecking order than him. But I really do like having Kwaka Smith in that 23 because I think that he adds something very different. And last year we saw the benefit of having something a bit different. Matthew says we should also not underestimate Australia with Dave Rennie as coach. I'm interested to see how they go if they take the next step in their development this year. Because last year we did start seeing a lot of progression. So was it a fluke, last year? Do they take the next step? Will they kind of be average and sort of gear towards next year? I think it'll be quite interesting to see what happens with them. Honey says Ireland play Maori All Blacks who are playing before the 3 tests. I think I'm going to try and cover as much of that Ireland series as possible because I think it's going to be really fun. They have Maori All Blacks. Obviously, got England versus Australia. We've got really cool tours this coming July. We're going to be doing a lot of watch-alongs, a lot of rugby watching. So, stock up on the beers. Look out for the specials because we got a lot of rugby to watch together. Do you think that France are better than South Africa at this point? It's difficult to say, isn't it? I think France are the informed team in world rugby in many ways, in the way that they got a Grand Slam Six Nations. It's difficult to sit there to know if they are better than the Springboks because we haven't played France in just so long, and such a different way of playing rugby. That is the test match I am most excited for this year, is that France game because I think that it's going to be. I think it's going to be a case of what many people reckon could be the 2 favorites for next season. Jean says, Steve, opinion on Super Rugby red cards. Do you think it's a disciplinary issue from the players or what? I haven't seen enough of them ready to talk about, to be perfectly honest. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to watch as much Super Rugby as I'd probably like to because, yeah, unfortunately, I've got other things to do as well. Although he hadn't had the best season, Curran Bosch is the best future option for the way the Springboks play. Jordan Henderson is also very close but very young. I mean, it's an interesting situation, isn't it? I think the biggest problem is just physically and defensively, he's not quite there. I do think Jordan Hendrickson is the future option, but as you say, he is quite young. Tim van den Berg says, I don't think we should be playing Kwaka out of position. Playing him at 7 really worked for the Box last year. I like how Wiese has improved his discipline this year. Well, I think the big thing is that Pierre-Steph du Toit is back in the squad. And I think that, and Kwaka Smith used to say, just because he had an 8 on the back of his shirt didn't mean that he was playing an 8-man role. So I think they're quite fluid in terms of the way that the loose forwards operate around the field. So in that respect, I think that even if he's playing 8th man, for example, and he's at the back of the scrum, I think it's just sort of during the game, I think the roles will kind of reverse. I think the fact that Pierre-Steph du Toit is back, he's a line-out option, for example, which covers the Dwayne Vermeulen loss of line-out option. He's a big ball carrier, so you can kind of share or swap kind of roles around in terms of, right, Kwaka Smith can maybe do a bit more fetching and a bit more sort of defensive work out in the wider channels. Pierre-Steph du Toit sort of doing more of the stuff, sort of the brute force work. So I think if they've now that they've started to be a bit more fluid, I think it's helped them with being able to get the best out of players because they don't sort of sit there saying, right, the number 7 does all these 5 things, and therefore we pick them based on who can do those things. They kind of sit there saying, right, this is what we need to achieve across the loose trio, for example, even across the team. And if we pick this guy in this position, he can cover this aspect, this guy can cover that aspect, even though it might not be the traditional stuff that they do in that position. They can sort of mix and match. Trying to say the Bulls beat Ireland and the SAA. France and England are building a strong game plan. They could counter our chance for reference. Check out Squidge Rugby's latest videos. I need to actually do a Squidge marathon at some stage and see what he's been up to. I'm expecting Marcel to start at 8 as Dwayne runs our defense on the field. You're going to need an 8th man with a lot of experience to replace him. I still don't understand Dion Free's inclusion. Do you think Albert Lowe will find it easier to join the matchday squad compared to Ruiz because Lowe is able to play lock, flank, and 8th man while Ruiz needs to be an 8th man specialist? Yeah, I do think Albert Lowe's versatility does make him very appealing. And I think that he's got a lot more of an all-rounder game than Ruiz does at the moment. So I do think that he has probably got one up in terms of his versatility and being a bit more all-rounded, whereas Ruiz is very good. He's got a very specific set of skills, and he's incredible at them, but he still has a couple of things he needs to learn, which is fantastic, and that's kind of the whole point, isn't it? And that's why it's exciting that he's been included in the box squad, because they can sit there saying, your ball carrying is really good, your physicality is really good, we need you to be better in this regard, we need you to be better here, and let him try and become the best 8th man in the world. That's kind of the point, isn't it? Honey's saying, Ireland game, we haven't played them in a long time. They beat us 43 in the last game we played them. We need to play Ireland back for our embarrassing 38-3 defeat at their hands last time we were in Dublin. Dale says, SA have a brutal World Cup group and still will have to play 5 big fish if they are to reach the final. How much of a difference do you think that will make their chances? Some people say it's too much. I think that it's really going to test the depth, and I think that's why I'm so excited about our current squad, because I think the depth, I haven't seen depth like this in a long time in a box squad across all the positions bar fly off, basically. And maybe outside center. I'm a bit worried about outside center. So I think that if we can get it right in terms of rotation, I think we will be okay. But I think it's one of those things. You got to beat the best to be the best. So, we can't have excuses, for example, but I do think that will make it a lot harder, but it'll also make, if we do go all the way, it that much sweeter. Chase says, are there any Lions players I'd like to miss out on the Springbok squad? I think Carly Sardi's good enough to be there. I don't know who you drop for him, but I think he's good enough to be there. I think Jordan Hendrickson should be there as a project player. I think that Vincent Chuka, if he has South African passport, you'd have to look at him. He's just too good this season not to. Who else? Edward van der Merwe played pretty well. Similani, I wouldn't have picked him, even though I think that he is a future Springbok option. Warne van den Berg maybe could have an argument that he played better this season across the season than Hendrickson, but again, from a Bok point of view, I can understand why you go with Hendrickson. He's far more suited to the Bok game plan. And he's Spurs versus Bath Rugby and Newcastle Falcons. How do you think the Currie Cup will go? I don't know, actually. It's a difficult one to pick. And Joel says, All Blacks continue the route of treating players like cattle, just drop and select each time. Shows they don't care about the players themselves. They just want to entertain. Grant Swaz, I think, is talking about the Lions players in the box squad going to Tukasadi, Edward van der Merwe. Graham says, for once, I think COVID played in our favour. These string of home games gave our players a lot of confidence, momentum. Love the channel. Thank you. Neves says, I don't think it has been touched, but I really hope Fassi or Colby get to start in 15 because even though Villiers makes smart decisions, skills are dropped. Yeah, I'm starting Holland. I don't think Fassi's anywhere near that 15 jersey, to be honest. So why so few specialists outside centres in the squad? I think it's just we've got a bit of an outside centre problem in the country. So we need more people to step up, I think. Sorry, I was busy trying to look at something. So yeah, I think that we do need to start seeing more 30s come through because it is a bit of an issue. Quite a few inside centers. I mean, David Williams is playing brilliantly. I thought Birger Udendal had a pretty good season. Cornel Hendricks should probably be part of the squad, but apparently there are still issues with his medical clearance with regards to Springbok point of view. Whether you agree or not, that is the current situation. So Cornel Hendricks will not be involved in the box right now. But yeah, we're gonna start wrapping up because there's only going to be a half an hour show. It's a short show today. But Contender says Bulls should do 12, Hendricks 13, Corsi. We're interested to start to see where Corsi fits in. I'll keep him on the wing. But if you can make it a 13, it would help the South African point of view. How Forster could be in the box squad. There's so much depth. The South African A team would be a really strong team. The Kanya, Creel, and Undar could have been our 3 specialists 13, while Undar's a specialist 12, really. Doesn't really play 13. I think Henko van Wyk is an exciting prospect as well. If Similani does lead the Lions, he'll start getting more game time. He has just recommitted to the Lions. But I'd like to see more of like something like Stedman Khans, who I thought was playing very well at 13 for the Bulls, and hasn't really been playing much now. Grant Stars, the Bulls will not play in Corsi at 13 when they have Mapu and Khans in the squad and Tambwe is leaving. Yeah, I think the Bulls are going to have to play him out in the wing because they're going to need to replace certain people. Maybe we should have our best of the World Rugby competition. Wandile is the future number 13. We should get him in. Lewis, I don't know if I like Chatuka. Tambwe, what do you mean you don't know if you like Chatuka? I don't know if like, oh, it also doesn't have his paper. Yeah, no, so that's the problem. So Chatuka doesn't have South African citizenship. From what I read, because I see that Jacques Ninabar spoke about the fact that Madash Tambwe didn't have a passport, and Madash Tambwe said he does have a passport, but then I also saw a rumor that it's a refugee passport. He doesn't actually have South African citizenship. So I don't know what the situation is there, but it does seem like there is a bit of a discrepancy in what he does or doesn't have. I know for a fact though that Chatuka doesn't have his papers yet. Griegos versus Pumas final records. Louis Fassi and Willemse can cover 12. I mean, when has Fassi ever played 12? 12 Willemse, 13 Delende if need be. If we brought Leebox to the squad, he'll cover 10 and Pollard at 12. Has the flyer from the Stormers gotten a call up? No, he hasn't. Can you do a video on Bokteen that's not included in the squad at some point? That's a good idea. Box is not going to lose one game because Louis Fassi will never ever play 12 for the Box. I don't think he'll play 12 for the Sharks either. Stevie, thanks for the show. Can't wait to troll on Saturday. Chatuka's trash, not really as good as everyone thinks. Yeah, listen, you're just unfortunately wrong, to be honest. You're talking about a guy who won 6 player of the match medals as well as player of the month during the tournament. So it's not even just my view. The entire URC rates him. Sure, but he's not a specialist 13. You have Johan van Nesburg better than Jans van Nesburg playing well for Leicester. Well, I think that's the issue, isn't it? We've just got so many inside centers. We need more outside centers. But anyway, people, thank you very much. Unfortunately, I've got to get back to work and do some other things and stuff like that. So we will see you guys this weekend. I'll have the schedule out tomorrow. There'll be no live shows tomorrow. Unfortunately, there might be one in the evening, but I doubt it. Unfortunately, I'm playing cricket all day. So I probably won't be able to do anything tomorrow. But we will hopefully be live on Friday night, potentially. And we'll be live on Saturday, obviously, for the URC final. Please do smash like on the video. Please do subscribe on your way out. If you'd like to become a member, like Mr. Obo, then it's the link in the pinned comment there. I'd ask you if South Africa, the leading rugby nation in the world, currently 140 people have voted and 81% of you did say yes. So there we go. I don't write the rules. We'll see you guys all next time. Have a good one, and we'll chat soon. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports for today's guide on how to watch the URC final. So we are down to just the last match of the season. It will take place in Cape Town. It is an all South African final as the Stormers host the Bulls in what is being labeled the URC Grand Final. And if you are looking in terms of how to watch it, I'm going to show you how you can watch it on a free-to-air channel with the use of a VPN. And we recommend using Express VPN because it is what we've used and tried and tested. And it has been very reliable throughout the entire season. So before we show you exactly how to do it, please do smash a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. We will be live for the match, so make sure you come and join us tomorrow. It should be a fantastic way to close what has been a brilliant tournament. And I think on the back of some very good quarterfinals, some fantastic semifinals, hopefully we will see the Stormers and the Bulls put in a real shift tomorrow and provide a really entertaining game for us to really sort of bring the season to a close before we then sort of turn all our attention on the upcoming Springbok series against Wales. So in terms of how to watch, first of all, you have to download Express VPN. There's a link down in the description, and there's also a special offer for Forever Sports customers. So you can go and check that out in the description. And then once you've done that, all you need to do is to open Express VPN, and I'm going to show you what it looks like. It looks like that. So a little pop-up comes up like that, which is very good. And all you're going to do is you're going to go to, on the right over here, it brings up various countries, and you're going to select Ireland. and then you're going to click connect. And what you're going to find is basically what happens once you do this is that it puts you on an Irish server, basically geolocates your PC so that it's an island. And what happens with that is that it basically makes, as far as your sort of internet is concerned, it basically makes it seem as if your PC is located in Ireland. And the reason for that is because RTE, which is Ireland's national television and radio broadcaster, they are showing the game tomorrow, and it is a free-to-air channel, which means that you don't have to pay you don't have to sign up or anything like that. You don't have to pay any subscription fees and stuff like that. And they are showing the game. So if you go to RTE, and it's rte.ie, it looks like this. And so what you do, so once you connect to the Irish server, you can go to the website over here, and then you go to the top right over here where it says TV, and that'll bring up over here, and then you want to go up over here to where it says RTE Player. And that'll into the player itself. And now if you look at the top right over here, it's got home. Why is it not working? There it is. So you've got the player and stuff like that, and you've got live, you've got box sets and kids. So you go to live. And what you'll see, what you'll find over here, if you look at the TV guide, that if you go to Saturday, which is obviously to tomorrow and the day that it's being shown, and you go across to the time, here you'll see it's got URC live on RTE2. So you go back to your RTE player, and you can click RTE2 over there. And then this tomorrow at 7:30 South Standard Time, it'll work. And you'll see you've got the entire player over here, which will work with the game live. And that's pretty much it. You don't have to play and pay. You don't have to log in or anything. You literally just download Express VPN. You go to the RTE player. We'll have the direct link to RTE player down in the comments as well. So all you do is you download Express VPN. You turn on an Irish server. You click on the link, and you'll be able to watch the game without any logging in, without any paying, anything like that. It really is very, very simple. So there's no reason why you can't watch the match live tomorrow. And while you do, please do come and join us on the watch along as well, so that we can chat about it together, and we can give our opinions, and we can see who is going to be crowned the first ever URC champion. Please do smash a like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Steven, and I'll chat to you soon. Good evening, everybody. Hello, and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports, the URC Grand Final. Ladies and gentlemen, that's what we are here to watch. The Grand Final, and it kicks off in less than 20 minutes. It's finally time, isn't it? It is finally time, and what an absolutely sensational day of rugby we have. I mean, I only managed to watch about the second half of the Super Rugby final. I missed the Currie Cup, so I missed Blooming Pumas getting to the final. We then saw an incredible game between Leicester and Saracens in the Premiership final, with a last-minute drop goal winning that. And it'll all close with the greatest league that ever was and ever will be. The URC final is in 20 minutes. It is down in Cape Town. We have got Stormers taking on the Bulls, a north-south derby in the first ever URC final. And what more could we really ask for a first season in the European competition? We never thought that we would even maybe see even one team in the URC final from South Africa, and yet we are guaranteed a URC winner. And I think that's just testament to the brilliant decision that we have made to go north, because I think that it was something that we should have done a long time ago, to be perfectly honest. And I think if we're being brutally honest, we were very much guests. We felt like guests in the Super Rugby. We felt like a side. I mean, in terms of the revenue, in terms of the way it was being broken down, and during COVID, it kind of made quite abundantly clear that, you know, that they were quite happy for us to walk away, and we did walk away. And now we are reaping the rewards. And you know, I think tonight, hopefully, we're going to see a Stormers and a Bulls side who have been in tremendous form throughout the competition, really put on display and really show everything that South Africa rugby is all about. And so many players who have been brought into the Springboks squad that are on display tonight. So many players who could be getting new caps for the Springboks in 2 weeks' time when the Springboks do take on Wales in the first test. There's just so much at stake. And I think that the best part from a South African perspective is we don't lose today. We cannot lose today because we will, first of all, have a URC champion and we'll have a URC finalist. And I think that both of these sides and both of the coaches can be incredibly proud of what they have achieved in the inaugural season of the URC. And the momentum that this will take for us going into, first of all, the international season, but into next season is going to be incredible because we are just so ready to take the next step. And I think that we've always been sitting there saying, South Africa has just been primed to become a rugby powerhouse. And we actually spoke about that last week, Wednesday, during our live. Maybe this is the start of that in terms of from a club perspective, in terms of trying to win trophies, dominate in a more international competition environment. So, yeah, how are we all feeling, people? How are we all? What is the chat? What's the chat? Who's in the chat? I mean, we've got 1,300 people watching. Could this be the day that we get 2,000 people watching for the first time ever? And I've actually got some very interesting personal news to share with you guys, and I wasn't going to share it with you. But I think I will actually, and we'll chat about it in a little bit because I think it's going to be a very it's going to affect the channel quite a lot, and hopefully it's going to be a channel in a very, very good way. We've also had 8 new members so far, and we haven't even had kickoff, which is incredible. So massive thanks to Brian Viviers, Noreen Yon, Evald Bonman, RB Erasmus, Benjamin Simon, Dudley Lawrence, Barry Swart, Alta Russ, and Tertia Sticker, who I think have all become Forever Sports members. So if you'd like to become a member, please do. It is the pinned comment at the top there. It's a small little debit order which happens every month, and it really helps keep this channel going. And it's just a massive thank you to anybody who can, who are in a position to be able to support the channel like that. It really goes a long way to keeping us going. And there will be some more benefits coming in quite soon. We've got a lot of plans behind the scenes. But jump in the chat. Give me some score predictions. Let me know how you guys are feeling. Where are the usuals? Where are the regulars at? So in terms of people watching how to watch the game. Now, first of all, I cannot show any match footage. If I show any match footage, this channel will be shut down faster than CBS until goes from the 22 to a try line. And we know that that's pretty fast. So if you want to watch the match and you don't want to sign up for everything, you can use Express VPN, and everything's in the description. You use Express VPN, you install it. There's a big special for Forever Sports audience. You can get 3 months off if you go with the annual package, and I really do recommend it because today, for example, you could have watched the Premiership final for free. You could watch the URC final for free, and next weekend, I'm pretty sure you can watch Top 14 for free. And there's also a lot of international rugby that you can watch and you can get access with cheaper broadcasters as well as free-to-air broadcasters. So there's one piece of advice I can get you is invest in ExpressVPN. It does cost, but there's a very good special asset that we can give you, and it just opens up so much rugby to be able to watch, so much other sport as well. So basically, you download ExpressVPN. For the URC game right now, you then connect to an Irish server, and then you can click on the link in the description. You go up to the RTE player, RTE being the free national broadcaster in Ireland. You go to the live player, and then it's being shown on RTE2. And so all you have to do is install ExpressVPN, go into an Irish server, go to RTE2, and you can watch it. There's no sign up, there's no credit card, there's no thing. Once you've got ExpressVPN, you are A4 away. We will, however, be telling you exactly what's going on here. We will have a live score, which hopefully works. We'll have a live tracker. We'll come over here, which will also give you guys live updates in terms of where they are in the field, what's happening, a counter at a timer, basically, to sort of show you where we are in the match. And then at halftime, we'll have stats for you. So this is hopefully the most, and what we plan to be, the most in-depth coverage of a rugby match on YouTube. That's what we aim to bring you, and I think we are really building an incredible community on here and a really cool experience. But in terms of actually watching the match, go and download ExpressVPN. It is free to then go and watch it on RTE, for example, and then come and watch it with us and jump in the chat. But in terms of who I'm seeing Mo there. I'm seeing, how's it, Ethan? I hope you're well. where's some of the people? Tion van den Berg saying, "Hi Steve, you see Premiership game, Jasper Wiese and Vincent Koch were incredible." Yeah, I mean Jasper Wiese, and I'm sure Evan Roos and Albert Lowe will both be sitting there going, "Pressure's on us," because Jasper Wiese, man of the match performance in the Premiership final. If that isn't, with no Dwayne Vermeulen in the squad, if that isn't the listen, I'm the number 8. You guys try and show me type of energy, then I don't know what is. So really impressive performance from him. Vincent Koch as well. I thought it was really good. I thought it was a very good final. And really good to see that some of our South Africans are really standing up. Dean Adams is saying Bulls to win. I'm not quite sure who I'm going to go with yet. I'm still not sure. So where we at? Just so Alex saying Stormers, please. Vic says regular. What's Hope you're well, Vic. Thoughts on K-Day? Yeah, so I watched the first half and then I sort of watched more of the Premiership. Kings were coming down. I thought they played quite well in the first 20 minutes. The school I used to coach at, but I just couldn't really capitalize on the pressure they were building. So it was frustrating, but it's something that was so cool to see the crowds, to see schoolboy rugby back in such a big way, such big crowds down there. It was really cool to see that. Ted Jones reckons Stormers going to win in extra time. Stormers to win by 3, says Alex. Ted Jones watching from Las Vegas. Jake White, I think, is ready for this, by the way. I think that this could be one of his greatest achievements, to take a Bulls side with no... they say no massive stars. Moskowitz is a massive player. There are some very, very good players from this Bulls squad, but I think, it's not a star-stacked squad like the Lions are. Or realistically, more like the Sharks are. But and to take them so far, I think is very impressive. It's Express VPN on Play Store. It is on the Play Store. Edith says, "Do you want to talk about how good of a coach fielder you are?" Because unfortunately, we're not going to have time to talk about my elite cricketing ability. Are you going to show the match? As earlier, you can't. How many will you be showing the rugby game? As I say, guys, can't show any match footage, but check the link in the description. It does show you how you can watch. But I want to know where you guys are watching from. I want everybody to start putting in the comments where you're watching from, who you're supporting from. Let's try and see if we can take a world map. How many countries are we ticking off in terms of the over 1,600 people in the chat? How many people, how many continents, how many countries? Where is everybody from? That's, for me, it's like one of the coolest things is to see we are such a big global community, the Fair Sports community, and I really want to see where some of the interesting places we are. Ruben, the latest member to the Fair Sports Members Club, welcome. Thank you so much. I mean, we've almost got 10 members so far in the stream, and yeah, I definitely didn't expect to see that at all. But so we got Tracy from Ireland, Oliver Lingen saying Liebenberg and Wiese both got tries in that final. What do you think of Damian Willemse? I'm a massive Damian Willemse fan. I thought that last weekend we saw the Damian Willemse we've been waiting for. The schoolboy Damian Willemse that we kept saying, if he could just turn this on an international level and a professional level, he's going to be unplayable. We saw that last weekend. So Albert's from Lincoln's from Pretoria. Grant Swartz, how's Stephen West, the Stormers jersey? Listen, no. You know I wasn't going to do it. However, you will be very proud of me, the locals, because what makes a return today is the God's nectar that is beer. I haven't had a beer on stream in a long time, and it's been a lot of reasons, stuff like that. But I thought, you know what, today for this, we are going to have a beer because I'm gonna go through some comments. I'm gonna open a beer. I'm gonna tell you guys why I'm so excited about not only this stream, but the future of this channel, because I've got some pretty big news for you guys. But first of all, let's see where we are, because I'm seeing a lot of really cool players and places, rather. So, Jonathan is in Canada, Victor Pretoria supporting the Stormers. We've got another one in Ireland going after the Stormers, says CJ. My path for Health Living says will be a tight game. Lemon from Gambia, good evening from Gansby, Western Cape, Ashington, England. Northumberland is Eric Davison. We've got Botswana from Craig, Tian's in Pretoria. Teresa Youngin is in New Zealand. Eric Davison's going Stormers by 8. Jaden is from Norway, watching from Botswana. Somebody else from Botswana. Now I've skipped down to, missed a couple of people. Bahrain, yeah, that's helping us on the desert. Watching from America. We've got to UK. Another person in Norway. Ireland. Quite a few Irish people. Good to see. KZN. Lima, Peru. There we go. Dito going all the way from Lima, Peru is going after the Bulls. Huge fan. No stress. Castle Lager. And I'm actually not very organized. So I didn't even go and buy beers. I just go and find what was in the fridge. I think these are actually my brother's beers, so he probably won't be very impressed with me. But I'm sure I can buy him another one. Sasselberg from Brion, watching from Qatar. There we go. Luke, something from Italy on holiday. Alberton. Grootbach, Victoria, Bulls by 7. As the same, Bulls don't lose finals. Ted Jones from the USA. Vic's all the way from Angola. Today we eat Bull steak in Namibia. Lucia from Paraguay Bulls. South Africa, Pretoria. Yeah, I mean, there we go. I mean, we're across like 4 or 5 different continents already. We've got all the places, different places. So let me open a beer. Sikalala was watching from the Eastern Cape. Go Stormers. Hope the water starts turning there. I know too well of the Eastern Cape water troubles. So like quite genuinely hope that you're well and coping with all the struggles that come with living in that province. Such a beautiful province, but so many issues there, isn't it? First of all, cheers. And who's joining me? Am I the only one on the beer? Let me know what you're drinking as well. This is what we do here. We ask the real questions, and the real questions are: what are you drinking? I'm on the Castle Lights because I'm an athlete. This is like if Evan Lewis wanted to be in peak condition, he would aspire to look like me. He's not far away, but this is where Evan Lewis has a poster of me on his wall, and he gets up thinking, I've got to look like Steven, because that is what a true athlete looks like. So let me know if you're on the beers with me as well. And yeah, so in terms of what I've got to tell you guys is that, and this is more for the OGs who will remember what we were doing back in the British and Irish Lions. And we were doing a lot more videos. We were doing just more basically. And it's been quite a up and down year for us as a channel because I haven't been able to do as much as I've wanted to do. I've been quite frustrated about that. And I think that, it's been it's been very humbling to see how many people have been so supportive, because I've really struggled to try and find the balance of finding time to get the channel going. I then did want to get the channel going, and then I got quite sick, so I was out. So it's been a weird year, but as of today, I have officially left my day job, and from Monday, Forever Sports, this channel, and all the other Forever Sports adventures and projects will be my number one priority. And it's a pretty big decision to make, and I'm hoping it's not going to be one I'm going to regret. But I just think that we're building something special here, and unfortunately, I think for us to take the next step, I need to free up more time, and I need to actually dedicate myself to doing all of this. And I can tell you right now, it is a bit of a risky decision, but I think so many people are so supportive on here that they're the reason that I've decided to take the plunge. So this is the beginning, people. We are about to move into the international season, and from a channel point of view, this is the beginning. This is the start of hopefully the next big step. And just a massive thank you to everyone who has been so supportive this year. Let's really start turning it up. Let's make this the number one rugby and the number one sports community. It's that for South African YouTube, and then start taking on the world. I do think that we currently have probably the biggest YouTube rugby community in the world, and I want to take that even further. And it's thanks to you guys. So, yeah, in terms of, I'm seeing a couple of beverages in the area. I'm also say a big thank you to Gerard Smith and Tricia, the latest members of the Forever Sports Members Club. Lemons on the Diet Coke, fellow athlete, I love it. Namibian drink beer, Windhoek draft, and South African. Somebody else is on the Windhoek draft. Yeah, I enjoy a Windhoek. I think I've said cheers, not actually had a sip yet. That tastes like a good Saturday evening ahead. About on the Castle Light. Grant started staying away from the whiskey tonight, hitting the red wine. There we go. Kempton watching you on RTT and Ireland Red Bull. Yeah. I think if I had a Red Bull whilst watching these, I'd be like bouncing off the ceiling. Tian says the Bulls win, then Benetton are unofficial champions of Europe. quickly keep staying on the water, which is more difficult than it might seem depending on where you live in the world. Raining on the castle light as well. I'll drink what Faf drinks. I'm seeing Pretoria here. I'm seeing Vanilla Vintog Lager. Tenants in Glasgow. Good luck with the channel. Thanks so much, Thomas. Really appreciate it. Bottled water because water shedding. Yeah, it's a struggle, isn't it? Where we at? I'm losing all these. So many comments coming in. I'm losing everything. Grant saying good luck, Stephen. Thanks for you. Thank you so much, Grant. Really appreciate it, especially you guys who've been here since the beginning. Ronnie on the Hansa. Alessandro on the whiskey. Just going through a couple of the comments here. Yeah, Vic, we're going. We are going to go. Thanks so much, Albert. Really appreciate it. Yeah, thanks, guys. And in terms of the people still asking, can't show the match, check the description because there is a guide on how to watch the match with Express VPN. I can't advocate for illegal streams because they are, as they say, pretty illegal. But VPNs are not illegal. And as I did a guide, it did work for me. So that's the best way I can recommend you watching, because if you just get Express VPN, you can then just go onto RTE and watch. And there comes the trophy. Oh, Cheslin and Victor. That trophy's big, by the way. And we're moving. In which case, let's move on to the live stream. And we're going to go on to there. There it is. You see, not the only ones that have got a trophy. I've got my trophy right here, boys. We actually haven't even gone through the teams because it's just been so busy. And I can tell you right now that if you think that what we've been doing in the last week or two has been a little bit more, wait until we get to the international season. I've got so many plans. It's going to be a flipping cool international season. I think that we're going to have a ridiculous amount of fun. So where we at? Can I watch the rugby on here? Check the description. Steve, you supporting the Bulls tonight? I'm supporting good rugby. I want to see a spectacle. I want to see them show the world what South African rugby is all about, and that is big hits, athletes, good hands. I want to see attacking, because they're both teams that play nice rugby actually, and that's the night. And how cool is that as well to see South African sides playing champagne rugby that is winning rugby as well. The super chat, thanks so much. Really appreciate that. Yeah, I mean this stream has already made my day, and we actually had a kickoff. Actually, it's quite emotional looking at the amount of people in the comments, especially on the back of yesterday was my last day at my former job. So woke up today and it was a very weird feeling not having messages from work and stuff like that, and then thinking, right, well, tonight's going to sort of show me be an indication of it's either yes, we're ready to take the next step, we're ready to give this a go, or it's going to be you bloody idiot, go back and beg for your job on Monday. But I think that you guys have already shown me that I think that we've got something pretty special here. Now let's get into the rugby, shall we? Let's get on to the rugby. In terms of the starting lineup, this is who we have got. Why have you guys changed? Where's my starting lineup going? I mean, I pretty much know, but I don't want to get it wrong. The men from Pretoria are as follows: Gerard Steenekamp, Johan Grabelaar, Mornay Smith in the front row. We've got Wal Steenkamp, Ruan Nokia, latest member of the Bulls Lock Springbok squad club. Marcel Coetzee, captain's aside. He's got Arno Buerta next to him, and Alwick Lowe is going to be facing up against arguably his biggest opponent for the future number 8 Bok jersey. He'll be starting in the number 8 Burger. Zach Burger will be partnering Chris Smith. Chris Smith will be sitting there saying, I want to be in that Bok squad. I deserve to be in that Bok squad. If I put a performance in tonight, that puts me on the radar. Madosh Tamwe, Kane Moody, Kirkley Orenser. That is pace, and that's some more pace between those three. So don't give them any space because they will punish you. And then in the midfield, Harold Forster, and then the ever impressive Cornel Hendricks, who just looks better and better every single time he touches a rugby ball. I've never known someone to improve every single time he gets anything to do on a rugby field. Probably the most consistent player in South African rugby over the last few years. Not even playing for the Springboks, but we haven't seen a bad game from him since he's come back. On the bench, Bismarck du Plessis, Simpiwe Mantanzima, Robert Hunt. I mean, when Bismarck du Plessis is your experience in your calm head, you do have to start panicking a little bit to a certain degree. However, the class of Bismarck is just second to none. You then got Jaco Swanepoel and WJ Steenkamp, two young forwards who I was very impressed with last weekend. In Bruce Papier, Mornay Steyn, David Creel, very solid players in Bruce Papier and Mornay Steyn, very experienced individuals. They'll be very calm under pressure, and they'll hopefully look to try and get the Bulls over the line for all those Bulls fans. But for the home side, they are led by Steven Kitsoff, who's got JJ Kotzer and Franz Moherba next to him. I was incredibly impressed with JJ Kotzer in, first of all, the quarterfinal and the semi-final as well. I think that he's someone who's got a bit under the radar this season, but has really stood up when it's counted, and that always impresses me a lot. You then got Salman Murat and Marvin Ori, both in the Springbok setup. Salman Murat still not capped. Marvin Ori looking to try and add to his caps. Dion Free has been called to the Springbok squad. He is playing his 100th match for the Stormers tonight. He will be looking to try and get a Springbok cap that I don't think anybody would have thought about. He is playing some incredible rugby at the moment as Dion Free. And tonight, I think that he's going to be someone that's going to really rise to the occasion. A year ago, if you had said Hachiva Diamani would be running out as one of the 4 number 7s in this competition, I would have probably laughed at you because he couldn't get a game at the Lions. He was a bit nowhere. He has found himself a new home in Cape Town, and it's a very, very solid home. He is next to Evan Roos, who was voted the Players' Player of the Season. Herschel Yankees, Moin Liebach, the halfback combination. If you think the Bulls have got pace, well, Sibele Sinatla will show them even more, as will Sergio Peterson, Warwick Galant. Warwick Galant playing his final match for the Stormers tonight. Damian Willemse, a week on from his man of the match performance at inside centre. Ruan Nel at outside centre. Andre Hugo Venter, Brock Harris, Netley Mashir, the reserve front row. Ernst van Rijn, Junior Pokamela, Nama Klaba, the forwards in a 6-2 split. Garland Masimla and youngster Sacha Mgomazulu will cover the rest of the back line. We are just about to have kickoff, people. Get ready. There's the whistle. There's the whistle. And the first ever URC Grand Final is underway as Chris Smith goes towards the right-hand side. It's an early touch for Damian Willemse, who's brought down by Kane and Moody. Those two are going to play a lot of Springbok matches together. And Herschel Yankees will go to Evan Roos, who has his first carry of the day, creating a bit of a better angle. And Herschel Yankees will now go back to Moin Liebach in the pocket. The leading point scorer in the competition needs to fire a decent clearance here and settle down. And that will do. That'll do halfway between the 22 and the 10 meter. 2 more members. Thank you very much, David Kirkpatrick and Charles Fenter. Welcome to the Forever Sports Members Club. Everybody that's looking to watch the game, check the description. I cannot show any match footage or I will be shut down pretty quickly. So, yeah, please just go check out the description. It shows you how to watch the match. Right, first lineup there. Jan Krobelog. Going to Walt Steenkamp. I'm trying to make sure, yep, my clock's working, the scoreboard's working. I just love it when a plan comes together. And speaking of plans, it's not a bad... Oh, I spoke too soon. Oh, no, Buerta with a knock on. And we're going to see the first set piece of, well, scrummaging set piece of the day, which I'm very excited for because I think that this is an area that Stormers are going to really target because, well, why wouldn't you? You've got a World Cup... Oh, my God, sorry, it was a penalty. I actually didn't see that. I mean, how useless am I? I was busy talking up the scrum. Meanwhile, it's actually a penalty for the Bulls, and they're going to go for the corner as well, which is pretty big. So, sorry, I'm going to try and come to the comments. Obviously, there's lots coming through, so I'm not going to be able to read them, all of them. If there's something specific you want to say, you want me to read out, as I said, the only thing I can suggest is super chat, because obviously I will read every single super chat. They come up as well, so I can't miss them. So, if there's anything you want to add, feel free to use that. But another set piece here. They go to Walt Steenkamp in the front of the lineup. Johan Krobela, pretty solid at line out. And it's a very big counter shove from the Bulls. But they've broken down the side. No, I think the cameraman's been left behind. They have. Johan Krobela comes away. He gets away from one. Borstein gets the way to Harold Forster. Harold Forster spinning away. Harold Forster is over. Well, there we go. First blood, the Bulls. It was a great set piece. And they just decided to go for a run. Harold Forster spinning away. And he goes over. Well, how's that? I can barely sort of settled in, and all of a sudden, the Bulls have got the first try of the day through Harold Forster. Will saying, Steve, the Rugby Guru got a strike this morning for the Super Rugby game. Copyright, please stay smart. He does less than you, so keep smart. Yeah, you don't want to do Super Rugby because Sky and stuff like that, they cram down so hard on you. It's so useless. So yeah, okay, yeah. So that's the problem with Super Rugby. URC are a bit more switched on in terms of what people people, what shows that actually know what you're doing. But anyway, Chris Smith has added the extras, and that is the perfect start. Vic saying poor defending. Bulls got first blood. Nice, not a great start. No, I mean, it could be a lot worse. Only to get the message the program cannot be streamed due to rights restriction. Please help. I found if you change your browser, sometimes if you're using Firefox or you go to Chrome, that often worked for me as well. I only had that once though, so try a different browser because that usually works for me. But good restart there from the Bulls. The Bulls at the base of the ruck. Zach Berger goes to Chris Smith, and Chris Smith, who's a very solid player, nothing particularly flashy, finds a very nice clearance towards the halfway line, which Warwick Kalanta is happy to gather and not take quickly. Mario de Kock, the Les member of the Forever Sports Members Club, welcome. Moose says, great tactic Stormers and store complacency. Neil says, don't write off the Stormers. Well, the Stormers came from behind last weekend, so yeah, I think it is write them off at your own peril. How about Jasper Wiese, man of the match performance for Leicester, boxer in a good place, very good place. I mean, you couldn't ask for much more, could you? Wonderful, you're in the latest member of the Forever Sports Members Club. Welcome. Right, first lineup there for the Stormers. JJ Kotz was a decent lineup. It's performed a bit messy there for the Yankees. Sabella Snutler trying to get them out of a bit of trouble. So the ball is back in the Stormers' half. Ronnie Liebach will go into the air, and there's a lot of Stormers players chasing, but it's pretty deep. So Curtly Orange Damian Willemse has gone up. I think he's knocked it forward though. It has landed the side of the Bulls. Jan Krobler coming away with it, being brought down by the two Springbok props and Steven Kitsoff and Frans Malherbe. Zach Berger going back to Harold Forster. Harold Forster looks to chip over the top. Gian Fari's gone back there. He has knocked it on. Harold Forster has regathered. That's really good work from the try scorer, but Dion Fari's all of a sudden all over him. But no penalty there. Kick over the top from Zach Berger. Tinatla is... I'll tell you what. I mean, the bounce of the rugby ball taking them out. And if Arno Burt had managed to gather that could have been very interesting. I'm exhausted watching this. I don't know about anybody else, but I'm like out of breath here. I mean, it's finals rugby, and we're seeing chips over the top. We're seeing a couple of passes here. I mean, there's a really good idea from Harold Forster. Chip over the top, he regathered. Then another chip over the top from Zach Berger. And once again, was falling straight towards Arno Buerta. And if he had gathered that, Bull suddenly would have been in the 22 with a lot of momentum. Funny how the bounce of the rugby ball can suddenly just start to favor you in many ways. Right, so scrum down just inside the 22. And this is what we've been waiting for, isn't it? Right, big scrum. Yeah, it is a Stormers put in. Oh, there's a bit of pushing going on before this. This is going to be a reset. But Nelson Zell, Pierre DeVos, and Jessica King, the latest members to the Forever Sports Members Club. I mean, we're almost going to hit 20 members in just the stream, which is unheard of. Only one team, Bulls, says Lionel. We want to watch the game and then check the description. The Bulls are starting deadly. They're looking quite good, and again, this is something the Stormers need to try and sort out. The fact that they were tending to start a bit slow in previous games. So it's important for them to start pretty well. They need to respond. Stormers show sportsmanship the whole year. Come on, Stormers, boys. Eating leftover bra. I could do a bra. Well, that's a pretty good hit from the Bulls. Now the ball goes in. A lot of work being done by the Bulls, but a bit of a counter shove. It is available at the back. A penalty for the Stormers. It's on the side of Mornay Smith. So Steven Kitsoff gets first blood at scrum time. Didn't look like the worst scrum, though. I think the Bulls were working very hard to try and gain a bit of ascendancy, but going down in the process. And once again, that Cape Town turf just completely ripped up. I don't know when they're going to do it, but they kind of need a few months to sort out the actual turf and stuff like that, because it kind of gets ripped up every single time we have a scrum. And it's an incredible stadium, but we can't have that. We need to be able to play proper rugby on it. So I think they're going to have to look at that. But the problem is there's not much of an off day for them to do it. So I don't know if it's going to be a case of they're going to have to resurface the entire thing. If they can sort of start to just do something different. I mean, I'm the first away from a green thumb gardener, so I can't really add too much recommendations. But they do need to look at the service. Anyway, they go short here to the Stormers. And it's the Spicy Plum who is grafting hard. Stephen Kitzel, what a player. Available for Hershey Yankees. Gives it to Hachiba Diamani. That's a nice leg drive by him. He's helped out by the fridge, Francois Herber and Marvin Ori. Oh, Zach Berger's gone over that. And he's burgled. Oh, cheapers. I mean, I tell you what, no doubts about a South African citizenship, the way he burgled that. And it's a penalty for the Bulls for not releasing. Well, Zach Berger, what a little intervention that is from the scrum off. Bulls need to play the full 80 minutes. Bulls are going to have a hard day with that scrum. We want to see the game. Shame. Spicy Plum coming up with the goods. I mean, isn't he always? Pack weights are light. Yeah, but I think what we're seeing, especially these days, is that scrummaging is so much more than just the weight. And I think they will be quite light when you think of, I mean, the Stormers. You've got Dion Free, Shivadai Marnie, not the heaviest players. You know, not quite the Sia Khaleesi and Peter Steph Toy and Dwayne Vermeulendu's cheer you had a few years ago. Craig saying, thanks for this, but I'm enjoying it in Amsterdam. There we go. There we go. Somebody saying they need the Newlands grass. Yeah, just pick it up, bring it up, and drop it in. Zach Berger under a lot of pressure there. But it's available at the back for Zach Berger, just stands up. Now here, Steenekamp. Being wrapped up by the two Stormers locks there. Zach Berger going to hand Khobola. Bulls well inside the Stormers territory. Mornay Smith at first receiver, giving it away to Onabuta, and that's Dion Fourie, who's all over that. Dion Fourie winning the penalty. Wow, I'll tell you what, he's going to have blooming Rassie Erasmus and Jacques Nienaber on speed dial with that sort of win on the ground. I'm on Chrome and RT to get the message spoken. Can I be streamed due to restriction? Please help. My only recommendation would be to try a couple of different browsers, because that's what happened with some of the other guys. I never had an issue when I tried it myself. But some people did say if you use different browsers, that often helps with that. Any sub players in the field? No, completely starting lineup at the moment. Only the one change to either side, with Sergio Peterson coming in for Leon Zas, who is on crutches on the side of the park, so it doesn't look too lacquer for him. Who do you think should be the fullback for the Springboks? His name is Warwick Galant, and he's playing as the last game for the Stormers tonight. Has to be starting for the Boks for me. Right, so Stormers up just before the 22. JJ Kotzer goes short once again to Stephen Kitsoff. How cool is it to start seeing things and teams just doing something a bit differently in the finals? You know, that whole thing of you could sit there analyzing for all week, and then all of a sudden they start doing things differently. That's what the Bulls did very well against Leinster. Martin Lieber giving it flat to Evan Roos, who has knocked it forward. Ruan Nokia has come and cleaned up. He's given it away to Harold Forster. In fact, there's a bit of space here if the Bulls want to use it. Cornel Hendricks, drawn past Madash Tumwe. He's got Kurt Lawrence on the outside. Well, that's a very timely intervention from Siba Lissanatla, who charges down the kick as it goes out. But the Bulls doing very well to run that out of trouble, and they're actually on the halfway line. And it's straight. I mean, everyone has got to do better than that. It's gone straight in and straight out. But really good awareness from Harold Forster. Drawn pass, gives to Cornel Hendricks. Cornel Hendricks to Madash Tumwe. He had Kurt Lawrence on the outside of him, but there were so many players coming across. I think the kick was probably the right option. Lifeline Consult and Phantom, the latest members to the Forever Sports Members Club. There's officially 20 members for the stream. I mean, we only had 32 before the stream. All of a sudden, we're over 50. So look decent looking more. That suddenly fractures a little bit, and Johan Khobola comes away. The ball spills out the back. Madash Tumwe picks up and puts his head down. Madash Tumwe bursts through. He's brought down by Hershey Yankees, but only partially. And eventually, he's brought down permanently by Sergio Peterson and Chiva Diamani. They go to Marcel Coetzee, who pops the ball back and bounces ahead of Zach Berger. Zach, a little bit of a show and go, and Diamani bought it. Bit messy at the moment. Eventually falls to Johan Khobola, who goes to Ruan Nokia. Ruan Nokia spins away from Hershey Yankees, brought down by Marvin Ori. They'll be shaking hands in a couple of weeks' time in a Springbok camp. Well, in fact, probably in a day's time. They go back to Chris Smith. Chris Smith sees a bit of space in behind. It's a bit of a nothing kick, unfortunately, and it's going to just step up. Is it going to stay in? It is going to stay in. So Warwick Galant's going to have to put this down for it will be a goal line dropout. Bit of a waste there, I think, from Chris Smith.
The goal line dropout, they have to go at least 5 meters. So not a bad result for the Bulls.
Now, originally in these goal line dropouts at the beginning of the season, we started seeing people slotting drop goals off them. So it's quite an interesting mental sort of thing about it, where tactically, do you pump it downfield and offer them a free drop goal? Do you go short, but if you lose possession, they're suddenly inside your 22? So Moy Liebach goes pretty halfway, but just outside 22 to Kane Moody. Big pressure there from Snutler, and he throws the ball out. That's a pretty point from the youngster. He throws the ball over Curtly Orance's head, and it goes out, and will be a line on the 10-meter. Let me just look at what comments we're going here. Grass, well done, Snutler. Where do I find a let's take a balls from a Kiwi. Says wet side. If he was to start with the box, it'll be a crime. Right, go to the front there, and the Stormers now, as Matthew Pierce saying on commentary, he's going a bit more conventional and decent looking more. We saw quite an effective more last week from the Stormers. It's been pretty good the entire season. They're still going as they trot over the halfway line. JJ Kotzer controlling things well, but now the Bulls all of a sudden with a bit of a counter shove, and they'll probably have to use it here. So Herschel Yankees does go digging for the ball. He gives it to Moy Liebach. Moy Liebach goes to the boot, lifts it high in the air. Damien Willemse is chasing very hard. It's going to be him and Curtly Arendse. Curtly Arendse takes it brilliantly, almost gets away from Ruan Null. And it is available. Zach Berger now goes over the top, finds a bit of space. Bit of an awkward bounce to Moy Liebach, but he's well positioned, playing against his former side, of course. Now Warwick Galant also against his former side. Well, I don't think that was the plan, but that's not going to go too bad. He's picked up with pace for Chris Smith. Chris Smith goes to his left boot, not his favourite side. Returns the favour to Moy Liebach. Moy Liebach now lifts it high in the air. He's going to have to chase his own kick. Curtly Arendse is tearing after it. It's a very nice take by Curtly Arendse, also another member who's been called up to the Springbok squad. A lot of Stormers players all over him, but the ball is available for Zach Berger just inside the Stormers' half. Zach Berger does go back to Chris Smith. Chris Smith lifts it high in the air. And it's a free grab there for Warwick Galant. Warwick Galant looking to run now. Inside, outside. Leaves the ball behind, picked up by JJ Kotzer. He's landed right in front of Marcel Coetzee. Marcel Coetzee, though, losing his footing. So it is available for Herschel Yankees. He goes to Evan Ruiz. Evan Ruiz puts his head down. Big tackle on him from Ruan Nokia. Herschel Yankees goes to Moy Liebach. Moy Liebach goes to the left boot. Chris Smith got a bit of time, looking to try and run it himself as well. He's wrapped up by Cedric Peterson as well as Damien Willemse. It is available though. Johan Krabbelaar with help from Ulrich Lowe. Finds a bit of gain line advantage. Right, Zach Berger just slowing things down. Goes to the box kick. Kane Moody is chasing hard. Warwick Galant. Well, Ruan Nokia slipped just before. When the ball comes a little bit loose, and it is a knock-on. Really good chasing there from Ruan Nokia. And breathe. What a match so far. Right, so we're going to have a scrum down just inside Stormers territory. On the 10-meter line, it will be a Bulls put-in, so it's a nice attacking opportunity for them. Adam saying that Tumbo's having a great start to the final. He looks up for it. I'm supposed to be going though. No, the little kick from Zach Berger has come off the feet, I think, of Herschel Yankees. So I think it will be a Bulls line out. It will be a Bulls line out.
The wing comes up, the fullback's isolated, kick him in the corner, forced to make a bad kick to get the line out for him first. You can build pressure again.
Right, so Bulls line on the 10-meter. They go to Walt Steenkamp. Looking to ball, and they found some space down the right side, and they're going for a run, and they're taking Frans Malhope with them. Well, they're already up to the 22. Jan Krabbelaar now spinning away. Zach Berger goes to Arno Buerta. brought down by Evan Lewis, but the Bulls are up to the 22 on the far right. Now Morley Smith. And Steven Kitsov has turned that over. Well, I don't know how he's done that, but Steven Kitsov can do the impossible at times, and that's a brilliant turnover from him. And Morley Smith has now conceded a penalty. I think it's actually on Abueta for not rolling. Well, Steven Kitsov take a bow because that was a pretty impressive run down the side there, and he falls just in front. And Steven Kitsov. Yeah, so I think the ball actually. I don't think he actually had his hands on the ball when he came around. I think it just the ball sort of bobbled up and all of a sudden fell on the Stormers side. And then I think it's Arno Boertia, he just gets caught. Yeah, he's caught on the other side of Daimani. He's also not rolling. Look at that packed out. I mean, 31,000 people supposedly have. I mean, this would have been capacity if they could have. This definitely would have been capacity if they'd opened it up. So frustrating that they didn't. But what can you do? Hopefully we'll have capacity in 2 weeks' time for the block games, because we can't be sitting there with 50% of crowds. I mean, surely not. See a couple of people going for Bulls, seeing a couple of people going for Stormers. Well, what did our poll reckon? So we've had 3,806 votes. That's insane, by the way. And I'm going to end the poll now and see what everybody reckons. JJ Cotter goes to Damien Phillips, and Damien Phillips has just left the ball behind. That's really poor from him. Chris Smith going flat to Harold Forster. Now the counter-attack comes to... That's a timely intervention from Sergio Peace. McConnell Hendricks does get up. Oh, and he hands down Ruan now. It brings him down with him. So it's a good tackle in the end by the Stormers outside centre. Mornay Smith coming away from it. And slow ball, yeah, from Zach Berger. He's going to go to the boot, I'm sure. He does go for the boot. Ruan Nokia's after it, as is Madosh Tambwe. Test for Warwick Halant. He's wrapped up by Madosh Tambwe. He's looking for the offload, but couldn't get it away, so he will go down. It's available for Hershey Yankees just by the 22, just outside 22. Evan Ruiz, wrapped up by Arno Boerta and Marcel Katsia, back in the 22. Now Hershey Yankees slips as he brings out the box kick. That's actually worked out quite nicely. He did slip, but he has found touch just past the 10-meter line. So it's a nice exit from the Stormers scrum off. And this has been a very high-tempo match. I'll be surprised if they can keep this up for the full 80. You can just see he slips on the turf there. It is, I think it is quite wet underfoot. There has been rain in Cape Town this week, and you can see on the side of the field, for example, that it's very wet. But not currently raining, but it probably will be quite wet underfoot. Obviously, also a 7:30 game. So the temperature will drop and the dew will come in. So the ball will probably be quite slippery, I'd imagine. We are saying the Greek Quiz Pumas finals great for SA Rugby. I was born 74, so cannot even know the history. It's something different from my lifetime. Yeah, 100%. Well, Sticker's come away with it. Quick ball there from Zach Berger, gives it to Arno Boerta. Arno Boerta steps inside Damien Willemse. And now there comes the leg drive, almost up to 22. The ball bobbles a little bit, but well taken by Zach Berger. Thought he saw a gap, but he's brought down by Chiva Daimani. Mornay Smith with one of the largest scrum halves you'll see in the land. Keros Camp. Decent tackle on him from Sal Murat. Dion Free thought about going for it, but it was well cleaned out. Pops up to Johan Krabbelaar. Bulls with all the possession so far. Keros Camp. It's a pretty good tackle on him from JJ Kotze and Dion Free. Dion Free up very quickly and trying to get his hands on the ball, but not able to make any inroads. Ulrich Low, well, cheapers. I mean, Ruan Nokia has gone flying in there to help him out there. Ruan Nokia doesn't have much regard for his body. It's a bit like Franco Mostyn there. He just sort of throws it around. Jan Krabbelaar looking for a pick-up and drive with Mornay Smith behind him. Dion Free he's just jumped straight into the... I mean, why would you do that? Pick up and drive into the midst of Dion Free, who's over it like a flash. Sits there and says, right, chaps, just give me... I mean, has his lip ever been intact? Another blood lip here for Dion Free. He's got another shiner. I mean, I don't think he had a lot to work with beforehand, but with what this guy puts his body through, it's no wonder he looks a bit of a mess. Couple of score predictions there. I'm seeing somebody, Lionel saying Stormers 7, Bulls 28. I'm seeing Stormers 19-17 to the Bulls from Bruce. So many of the latest members of the Forever Sports Members Club. Thank you so much for joining and supporting the channel. So Dion Free getting a bit of attention here. And 23 minutes gone, and it currently stands at 7 points for the Bulls, 0 for the Stormers. And must admit, the Stormers' defense is holding firm so far, but it has been a very impressive start from Jake White's side. And 23 said, Brew, thanks for the stream, great appreciation. Well, thank you for joining us. Vita say, just want to say thanks to this guy for streaming the updates for us. What a champ. Well, thanks to you guys, because it'd be very lonely if I was by myself, and we have had streams where we had like just myself. So to have a comment section popping and to have well over 2,000 people watching is really, really cool. But a bit of a messy line out there, and Bulls come away with it, in fact, and Zach Berger is going to go with the box kick. Ball over the top for Kane Moody and Ruan Nokia. Ruan Nokia's got the height, and it comes off Ruan Nokia and gathered by JJ Kotzer, so it does land the side of the Stormers. Hoshianki's going with a quick ball to Evan Ruiz. Evan Ruiz see a bit of a gap and being brought down by Johan Krobela and Albert Lowe. Now long pass out to Marty Liebach. He sees a bit of space. He's also slipped, so the turf definitely proving to become a bit of an issue for a couple of the players. Kurt Lawrence are gathering. Brings out the torpedo. And see that too often. And it's gone straight down the midst of Warwick Land. Now what's Warwick Land going to do? Just to the side and brings on Marty Liebach on the angle. He's brought down by Albert Lowe, but presents it for Hush Yankees. He goes to David Williams. David Williams puts the kick in behind. And he's overcooked it and put it straight into touch. It's a bit poor from David Williams, who hasn't had the best of start so far this evening. The idea was right, execution was just off. And he wanted to try and put a little grubber in behind and just find a bit of territory. Some Murat giving letting Zach Berger know who's boss. Albert's pace of the game so far is insane, 100%. I mean, you don't see finals like this very often, by the way. So enjoy it, because we are seeing a very, very good pace of play here. And Bulls, a bit messy, but eventually falls away to Arno Buerta. So Bulls do have possession. Now Zach Berger, once again, slipping on the box kick there, and it's a test of Sergio Peterson, who does well, but under a lot of pressure, gets the awful lot away as well to Warwick Land. Warwick Land drifting quite side, trying to find a bit of space there, gives it to Sibelius Nutley, decides to straighten. Oh, and the ball just can't be held on by Dave Willems, so it has to go forward. Kara Steenekamp now goes up to Steam. Sibelius Nutley makes a brave tackle, because it's probably about a 50 kg weight difference. Back to Chris Smith, who sees a bit of space, puts it high in the air. It's pretty well placed, will land just outside 22. Madosh Tumwe goes up, the ball falls free to Arno Buerta. He's got Albert Lowe. He does pop it to Albert Lowe, who's brought down by Hershey Yankees. Madosh Tumwe, the ball does come. Oh, my living. Marvin Orius just flicked out the back of his hand. And Salman Murat has knocked it on the ground. Very strange decision for Marvin Orius to do that. I mean, that's the kind of thing you'd see from like a Bowden Barrett. So, yeah, and Salman Murat he's running back. It wasn't a particularly good pass in his defense, but all of a sudden it's gifted the Bulls an attacking scrum on the 22. There've already been 5 handling errors from the Stormers. There've been 2 from the Bulls. The turf and the ball are proving to be quite difficult so far. So tricky conditions, and yet we are seeing a very, very good pace of play. We're seeing good intensity so far, and I, for one, am loving it. Got a couple of comments while we have a bit of a break. Dewalt was giving us 18 Bulls, 15 prediction. Zach is the best box kicker in the SA. Alvin Ling is saying Rusty Rasmus is the king of coaches. Yeah, look, listen, I think Scott Robertson's also having quite a good shout at the moment. Adam says Dion Free Stormers most valuable players, keeping them alive. Yeah, he's playing. I mean, he's just playing some of the best rugby ever. Do you rate Fussy? Every time I hear you speak of him, it looks like you don't rate him. I do rate him. I think he's a very exciting player. Ooh, that ball's bobbled back, but eventually been hooked back to Zach Berger. Oh, and Harold Forster just can't gather. So another handling error there from the Bulls. Evan Lewis is cleaning up, but under a lot of pressure from Zach Berger. There is a knock-on advantage, though. Scrum advantage being played at the moment, but Storm is well back, and I'm be surprised if they do blow it. Use it now. Herschel Youngkins needs to find a decent clearance. Needs to try and not slip as well. Advantage over. It's not going to find out though. And Curtis Arnson on pace has knocked it on as he gets tackled. Pops up to Damian Willemse. Damian Willemse does step out. So they'll go back for the knock-on. I do rate Fussy. I think he's a very good player. He's a very exciting player. I just think we should keep him on the wing for box whilst he continues to develop the defensive side of it. If you can sort that out, he would be ready. The only thing I do say, and that's why maybe people don't think I rate him, is I think that Warwick Land's ahead of him in the pecking order. But I would pick a Fussy in the box squad tomorrow. So I've got no issue with him being there. I do rate him. You see the 13-year-old that kicked 55 meters. I heard about the video. I actually haven't seen it myself. Ben Kennedy said Willemse never impressed me, overrated. Well, I mean, he was the man of the match in the semi-final last week. So he definitely does have his moments, to be fair to him. Who is the ref? It's Andrew Brace. Assisted by Jakob Paper, I think it is. Big saying they need to redo this pitch after the competition ends. Yeah, I think they do. I don't know what they're going to do to it, but they do. And that's why, for the box, we just got to keep them at Ellis Park. Because that pitch is just so nice, isn't it? It's just so many good memories there. It's just a pity we can't pick the stadium up and put it in mid-round. Anyway, it's a very nice front foot ball there from the Stormers. Warwick Land brings out that left boot of his. Goes straight down the throat of Kurt Yarn, so he goes left to Madosh Tumwe. Madosh Tumwe very rarely kicks it, so he'll look to run. He gets away from one, he gets away from another. Madosh Tumwe gives it across to Conor Hendricks, who pops it to Kurt Yarnser. And the ball's up to 10 meter. Really good slick handling there. Zach Berger was looking for quick ball, but eventually it is right to Marcel Kotsia. I haven't seen too many carries from him today. Zach Berger now going to Chris Smith, who goes short to Gerard Steenekamp. Solid tackle from his very front rows. And that's another penalty, by the way, from Dion Ferree. He's won at least... No, in fact, I think it's going straight over his feet. It's against Wild Steenkamp, but Dion Ferree was lurking. Well, the Stormers have had very little possession. In fact, if we go look at the stats, and we'll go check out what Ultimate Rugby's got to say. Stormers have had very little opportunity. They're barely in the Bulls' half, but they are hanging on. We'll be half an hour, and despite all the dominance from the Bulls from a possession point of view, there is only 7-point difference. So credit goes to the Stormers' defense, but they need to get their hands on the ball because they can't defend for the full 80 minutes, especially with the pace of play that we are seeing. So far, it's 60% possession to 40%. I think it'll actually have gone up a little bit lately. Territory as well, 59% for the Bulls. So the Stormers need to get their hands on the ball, and they need to play in the Bulls' half for a little bit. Vic says too much aimless kicking from the Stormers. Martin Baker says Marcel Legend, what a comeback story. How many knock-ons? Would love to see the stats. Well, I think it was 7 before that Sam Murat one, so it must be sitting at about 10. Oh, Damani's almost gotten away. Inside 22 go the Stormers. Jan Krobelaar's over it, but he has gone down to his knees. So there is a penalty advantage for the Stormers. Marvin Ori at scrum off. Sam Murat, that's decent handling. And Evan Ruiz takes the ball into contact. So penalty advantage up for the Stormers. Liebach tips over the top for Ruanel to go to chase. Kaden Moody is very, very quick to cover the back there. It's well done by him. But they will go for back for the penalty. And if I'm the Stormers, I would say Stephen Kitsoff, take the 3. Let's get some points. We've barely... Yeah, I see Evan Ruiz is going there. I don't think he has too much... I don't think he's got that much influence over the decision in terms of the pecking order, but it does look like they are going to take the 3 points, which is the right decision. This is the final after all. He says Strike's going to lose. I still don't rate Lamp, but I'm hoping to be for reconsideration. Give him a block jersey and let him play. And I'm telling you now, I'm hoping he'll prove you wrong. Hope so, anyway. I hope he gets the opportunity to. Batandwa says, all the Bulls have to do is keep the pressure on. I see a win with 2-try difference. Welcome to Yamba Note, the latest member to the Forever Sports Members Club. Ben reckons the best forward pack will win the match. I would say the Bulls are clearly better coached. Brian Swartz takes the 3. Yeah, it is a bit of an issue. I mean, the ball, if the Stormers had taken the 3 last week more, they wouldn't have had to rely on Monty Liebach in the last minute to slot that conversion. So they are learning. They are learning.
Very difficult decision for captain, especially after Monty didn't have a good day with the group last week. Victor, when you're in a shoulder like this, do you give it to the kicker or do you go to the line? I think at this stage, the Stormers are not getting any reward from the lineup or on
I think the Stormers could use half time. I think that's what they need. I think the Stormers need half time. Because they're far more mistakes coming through than usual and handling errors, and I think they just need a bit of time to just calm things down a little bit. So if Monty Box slots this, which he doesn't. You know, and we were saying this last week, weren't we? We were saying that Monty Liebach is not a bad goal kicker, but he's just got those misses in him, and they're silly misses because that was not a particularly difficult attempt. And I've just seen that our tracker is working, so we can now start showing it. Sorry that it wasn't working earlier. But so you would have seen that it's where the Wolves got possession. So it was on the left-hand side there where the kick actually came from. And he should have slotted it. So to miss that is very, very poor because that would have brought them within 4, which given the fact that they haven't played particularly well would have been a nice result. However, that is quite a nice result because the restart from the Bulls has gone right up towards the touchline. I don't think it was a mistake from Chris Smith. They just sort of everybody missed it. So it will now be a Stormers line-out deep inside Bulls territory. So an opportunity for them to either win another penalty and have another go or to try and craft a try. I reckon it's going to Salma right at the front of the line-out. It was going to go Marvin Ory at the back. It does go Salma right at the front. Jaja Kotza breaks away, gives it to Herschel Yankees. He gives it to Damien Willems, so he's going pretty flat. He's brought down by Harold Forster and Chris Smith. And they've taken out Herschel Yankees. Harold Forster came through and took out Herschel Yankees. Evan Roos now, driven back. Herschel Yankees. Well, it's well done by Murat because Stephen Kitsov took his hands away at the last minute there. Herschel Yankees decided to go to the left side now to Marvin Ory. First receiver goes to Monty Liebach, who goes to Damien Willems. So there's a bit of space there. They've got the number. So Natla draws and passes to Dion Free. Dion Free comes inside. Very lateral. Needs to straighten. He does straighten. He's brought down by Marcel Garcia, but does get the Stormers inside the 22. Quick ball there from Herschel Yankees down Marty. First receiver, Monty Liebach. Big pass over the top towards Watchalong. 2 fumbles it forward. And now the reply from the Bulls. Currently, answer comes away from it. And they will go back for the knock-on. Oh, well, if Kalanta had taken that, that could have been very, very interesting. Ooh, Cornel Hendricks having some words to say with Stephen Kitsov. Marvin Ory getting involved as he always does. It was really good work here. It was pretty lateral from Dion Free, but eventually came in, and then there was space. So it was the ball at the top. I mean, he is catching that there, so it was difficult for Galant. But if he had taken that, he still had Sergio Peterson outside him. Oh, but saying, how do you miss an easy kick like that? It's a very good question. The ref is Andrew Brace. Ben says, against Ulster, Stormers were poor, Bulls were great. I'm a Stormer supporter, but class is class. And Zayda Omian, the latest member to the Forever Sports Members Club. Thank you so much. Red Eye saying, I'm not a Bull or Stormer, just glad the URC Cup will be in SSA, but let's root for Western Province. No Bach jersey for you, Galant. Hey, listen, it is very young in the game. Still got a whole half ahead of us. Jean Liebach will sort out his kicking issues after he takes some golf lessons. Well, it's a short arm penalty there. Free kick to the Bulls at scrum time, so they'll take that. An opportunity for them to get back into Stormers' half. Gerard Smith saying, hope both teams can maintain this pace and nerves. Well, that's the thing. The pace of this game has been off the charts. Definitely didn't expect it, so... Well, Chris Smith just launches that into the air. And Ruan Nokia almost getting there. Does bounce. Goes towards Monty Liebach. Goes to where you were, Galant. Galant over the top. And currently answer does let that bounce. It falls to Chris Smith, who's inside the 22. pulls out a decent fine touch finder. In fact, it's a very nice touch finder. That'll be a Stormers allowed inside their own half. So that's a good result for the Bulls. Managing the game well so far. 7-point advantage. They'll take that at halftime, I'm sure. Adam saying Jono Dobby Dobson not looking comfortable in the box. But he never looks comfortable, does he? I mean, they could be winning by 20, 30 points and he just doesn't look comfortable. The man does not smile during a game. Probably the nicest coach outside it, though, to be fair to him. Kay Philander, the latest member to the Fair Sports Members Club. I mean, we're almost up to 25 members in just this stream alone. Ball pops up for Solomon Murat. Hershey Yankees long pass, so it's a good line so far. Damian Williams are going flat to Warwick Khalad. Warwick Khalad's got a bit of space outside him. He kicks it just after 22, so that could be a 50-22, you know. It is. I'm sure it is. I think that is the perfect kick from Warwick Khaland, and I think it's a 50-22. He kicked it deliberately just before the halfway line. Again, look, at the end, have a look at this. And he is. It's a 50-22. That is perfect for Warwick Khaland. Yeah, it's a 50-22. Not in front of the kicker. Commentators catch up here, Chief. That's a 50-22. Warwick Khaland, you biscuit. How's that for a bit of play? And all of a sudden, he's put the Stormers in the 22 with a line out. And that's a very interesting option, you know, because we're seeing it more and more that you run the hands, and when you get up to the touchline, you've got the option of either trying and join pass, or you put that low kick in behind, which can obviously bubble and bounce. And if you do go into the 22 and you've kicked it before the halfway line, it's your line out. I was so against this rule when it first came in. But I must admit, it has changed the game, and I think it's been a very good intervention. It goes to Daimani, not the most regular of line-out jumpers, and they are controlling at the back. They're edging slowly forward. There's a bit of momentum there. JJ Kotzer controlling things at the back, and it's hard graft at the moment. There comes the call once. But they're grafting. Ruan Nokia, if they can get rid of him. Use it as the call. Hershey Yankees does come away with it. He's got Shooter Peterson outside him. He just goes himself. Bit isolated, but they do manage to maintain it. So Dion Fury, a big counter-rack coming in from the Bulls. And a pick up and go there, which is the right thing to do. It is available for the Stormers. Daimani spinning away from the first tackle. Marcel Coutinho was up very quickly there. Good work there from Daimani. Hershey Yankees goes to Monty Liebach. Monty Liebach goes to Damian Williams. Damian Williams steps inside. He's wrapped up by Harold Forster and Cornel Hendricks. Hershey Yankees now going to Evan Ruiz. Evan Ruiz steps away from one. Brought down by Ruan Okia. There goes the Hooter in the background. Monty Liebach goes flat to JJ Kotzer. Puts his head down, gets his knees to the ground as well, so they have to release. It's still available for the Stormers. Now Franz Malherbe, the fridge. I mean, he must have about 4 bottles of Cliff Drift waiting for him after this match. Hershey Yankees goes to the left. Long pass out to Warwick Khaland. Warwick Khaland. Oh, he wanted to go short, but it's a penalty for the Stormers. Offside is the call. What I love about Khaland is that you just don't know where he's going to go. And you can see even then, he's like, the way he moves the ball is like thinking about the outside, over the top pass. Then he went short. It was a knock on from Dave Vincer, but it was a penalty advantage. They are going to have another shot at goal. So Stephen Kitsop is saying that he'll take 7 points to 3 going into half time. Hey, Sean Dobson, that shirt is struggling, chap. And a Brits, the latest member to the Favorite Sports Members Club. That is officially 25 for the stream. You guys are amazing. I appreciate you. Yeah, I can see they're clearly upside. Very quickly up there. Right, Money Block. You've left 3 out there. Let's not leave 6. And I think the Bulls will actually probably take that. I think they'll be sitting there thinking... I mean, it's not a big lead, but it's a 4-point lead, and they'll probably feel that Stormers looked a lot better the last sort of 5 minutes. So they'll probably take I think they would take any lead going into halftime, and they'll be very chuffed with that performance. Molly Buck, you can't miss this. See, you can see on the screen where the kick is, so it's really not a difficult chance. And this time it sails straight through the middle. So Mike Levi makes amends for earlier. Right, so 3 points to 7. What a half. I mean, the intensity of that was off the charts. I'm actually like pretty blown away. I expected many things in this match. I did not expect to see that sort of intensity throughout that first 40. The question is, can both teams maintain that sort of pace of play? Because if they can, we're in for a hell of a match. People, we're going to take a short break. So do not go away. Please do smash like on the video. I've never had a video with 1,000 likes, and I feel that could maybe be on tonight. So do me a favor, and I'm going to go maybe find myself another beer. When I come back, you guys are going to have me over 1,000 likes. Also, in terms of subscribers, as you can see, we are flying up, and I'm now starting to wonder, are we in the realms of possibilities of going from hitting 11,000 subscribers last week? Could we even be hitting 12,000 this week? Let's find out later. People, go get your drinks, get yourself sorted, smash a like on the video, and I will see you guys all in a little bit. And we're back. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. Halftime score, 3 points to 7. And probably a bit of a messy game in terms of, there have been 13 handling errors. So it's not been, incredibly slick, I would say. But I think that in general, though, I think it's been quite an enjoyable game. I think that despite there has been a couple of errors, and some people are saying that, kicking too much stuff like that. But what I will say is that at the pace of play, we've actually had a lot of ball in play, which I think has been quite good. It's actually been very interesting. I feel like we've had a lot of ball in play. Maybe we actually haven't, if you look at it. But it's been pretty. It feels like it's been quite a quick pace game. I think that they have been looking to keep the ball in play. Even a couple of kicks when they've looked at for distance stuff like that, they try to keep the ball in play. They're trying to sort of up the tempo. It is wet, and unfortunately, it's currently raining, so it's only going to get worse from a conditions point of view. But yeah, so I think it's gonna be very interesting the second half we've got going. Neither side have been mistake free. And I think the Bulls, if they had capitalized on the momentum they had in the early stages, I think that they could have been well ahead here. But they haven't, and as a result, the Stormers are still in it. And I think it's going to be quite an interesting second half ahead. What are we thinking? Where are we at with this?
Keeping innovative. That's the call from the man right here. Let's take a quick break. When we return in the second half of the grand finale, the Vodacom United Rugby Championship, the Stormers up against the Bulls.
Let me get some tweets out. Should somebody give me a tweet to say? And if you want to follow me on Twitter, by the way, it's DVP Sport. If like all 1,800 of you guys decided to go and drop me a follow on Twitter, I'll be like a big deal, And that's the thing. Don't you guys want to make me a big deal? I want to be a big deal. I'm joking, by the way. For full disclosure, we do make jokes on this channel. We're a very serious channel at times, but every now and again we do have a bit of a laugh. But what are the comments saying here, people? What are we saying? I've got something. I think it was Tony was saying Bulls will win. That's my prophecy. Albert saying commentators on TV saying Stormers are lucky to only be behind by 4. Should have been 320 for the Bulls. I don't think you're far off, to be honest. Let's get into 1K likes. Literally, we're more than halfway there, but we've still got a long way to go. So I'm going to need you guys to all start hitting that like button. Grant Swart says all the kicking is to be expected considering the conditions, 100%. Adam says, come on the Dallas Cowboys, America's team, Mean Bulls, South Africa's team. Angie Boyson, the latest member to the Favorite Sports Members Club. Thank you very much. Welcome, as well as welcome to Ricardo Sherman. Fantastic to have so many people joining the Members Club, which is really cool. Both teams are trying to capitalize on the other's mistakes. I would love the Stormers to move the ball through their hands more. Carrot says, Ed and I speak under correction. Apparently that's been cancelled, buddy. I don't know. What's been cancelled? I think I missed whatever you're referring to. The links to watch live stream not working and purchase the VSB. Well, try a different browser. Welcome, Jardine Brits. That is member to the Favorite Sports Members Club. Yeah, what do we think? Well, how are we thinking? Who's gonna take this? Thanks for the broadcast. I think it's great. Thanks again. No, well, thank you guys. This has actually been a very special broadcast because this live stream will probably go down. And I speak under, I'm actually going to check. I'm going to go to our live stream. I think that we are about to break the Forever Sports views record. We are going to break the Forever Sports views record. How incredible is that for a channel which a year ago had just over 1,000 subscribers? We are now about to break a 63. We could break a 65,000 view stream, and it's because of you guys. And as I said, a day from quitting my day job to dedicate myself towards this, or to start dedicating myself more towards this, this has been incredibly special. And we've still got another half of rugby ahead of us, so we've still got a long way to go tonight. And then we've got an international season, which is going to be flippin' awesome. I'm so excited for it. What are we saying? J Meister says Stormers will win. I actually might go out and drink after this and celebrate, to be honest. Bulls need to draw first blood to keep the pressure on, says Batandwa. J Meister says Stormers is going to clutch. Grant Swart says tweet for you, Stephen. I'm a big deal Stormers fan. Bulls by 7 says first off, greetings from West Crew Blue Bull. J Meister go after the Stormers. Another try in the first 5, Bulls in the second, says Venant. Pavita says hello from Australia. Welcome, welcome. However, has the most composure. Whoever has the most composure will win. I've been here from day one. Yeah, well, you know what? A big shout out to the OGs, because there have been streams where, and I don't want to leave people out, but myself, Kwasi, Grant, Albert's been here for a long time. Aminia's been here for a long time. Vic's been here for a long time. Contender's been entertaining us with all his selections. There's been so many, and I said I don't want to leave people out. Just showing people who've commented quite recently. There've been so many people who have been here since the OG days of. I mean, I used to do this when I was in Grahamstown, and my internet connection wasn't actually fast enough to do live streams. I can only do the reviews and stuff. So it's so cool that there are so many people here from the beginning, but that we've had so many new faces today. And that's what it's all about, is that we want to build a really cool sports community, and it will be more than just rugby soon. But we've got an incredible rugby community, and that's kind of what we want to build. So let's just move on to our normal stream as we're ready for the players coming back onto the park. So just a massive thank you, and now let's make this second half the most fun we could have. Let's hope that these guys put on a show. Respect says, hi, I love your channel. My brother just gave me a birthday bra. He's a Heart Story supporter. Please give him a shout out. His name is Aston Maria. Well, Aston Maria, happy birthday to you. Well, let's let and see if the Storms will give you a birthday present. Hendricks breaking the Stormers defense. Yeah, we need to see more of the centers, don't we? We need to see more ball in hand and get those centers into some space. Yo, I reached for the Coke and we went, where's my beer? To get some brandy and pour that in there. Right, whistle goes. Andrew Brace says, last 40 minutes of the URC. Will it be the Stormers? Will it be the Bulls? We'll find out in 40 minutes. Maglibok goes up to the top there and is well taken by Harold Forster. Last couple of comments before you get stuck in. Be here forever. I love it. And I did see the pun there. You're a rodent. I am a former rodent. I finished there in 2020, I suppose, actually. 2-3 roads. And Zach Berger will bring out the first boxing of the half, but it's a tester for Watchalong. It falls the side of the Bulls, and Stephen Kitsov's there to make a use of himself. Zach Berger now going with a bit more laterally. Sebele Sanatle's got a bit of space. Well, can you Sebele Sanatle's up? Well, he runs to Arno Boerto, who tackles him well, but big counter coming in from the Bulls, and the ball has suddenly come away. Corner Hendricks has hacked to the head. And Shirtle Peterson is out there to try and... Anyway, he's under a lot of pressure. Marcel Coetzee is going to win a penalty, and this could be the first points of the half, actually. Really good counter right. Then the hack ahead. Really good, yup. And he pointed the pulse, so he wants to get the scoreboard moving as Marcel Coetzee.
Just isolated after falling on the ball, Sergio Peterson. His reinforcements not arriving quickly enough.
Which team are you? I'm a Lions fan, so now that you guys are all here, you'll get to watch me go through my misery next season. We'll stick to the game plan, says Ronnie. Castle Light, yeah, look, I just grabbed whatever was in the fridge. Joel, thanks for the streaming game, and thank you for joining us. Gerard says, Outcome will be the best team on the day. Discipline will decide. I repeat, it's going to be close. Stormers all the way, says. I wonder who he's supporting. Says, if only they can keep the ball and not kick it away the whole time. Yes, the Lions. It's been a pretty emotional life as a Lions supporter. I've gone through... I had season tickets the season we didn't win a game. That was fun. I missed the Currie Cup final where Elton Yankees won man of the match because I was going to the Kings of Leon concert. What watched us hammer Highlanders in semi-final Super Rugby. Well, Chris Smith does not miss too many, and he's not missed that. And first blood does go to the Bulls, and they extend their lead up to 10 points to 3. Do you get enough money from YouTube? No, is the quick answer. But we're gonna. I mean, we've got to. Look. I mean, making a career out of YouTube is incredibly difficult. We are gonna give it a go though. So not yet, but the plan is to try and make this career, and then with you guys' support, we'll get there. But that's a very good restart from the Bulls. It's fallen to Evan Ruiz, who's got on a bit of a run. Important for the Stormers to hit back now. They go to Watchalong. Watchalong goes into his right boot, puts in a kick behind. That's going to be a difficult one for Kurtley Arendse. And Kurtley Arendse has, I mean, that's Watchalong for you. It's so good to just have the option of both feet. And he's putting a brilliant kick in behind. Kurtley Arendse has done very well to... and he's carried it back outside into the in-goal area. I mean, look at it. I mean, it's Tyson. Damon Willems says afterwards, so is Daimani. And Kurtley Arendse comes back. He clashes into Madosh Tambwe. And then, yeah, it goes out just behind the flag. So it'll be a 5-meter scrum. So that's the perfect restart from the Stormers. Waste of money, that season ticket. I'll tell you what. I mean, it wasn't fun to watch. I think we paid like 800 Rand per ticket. It included tickets to every single Super Rugby game, every single Currie Cup match. We got a jersey which was retailing at about 600 Rand at the time. We got a match day program. So from what we saw on the pitch, it wasn't great, but in value for the money, it was actually tremendous. That's why we did it, because we sat there going, for the price of just over a jersey, we get tickets to every single match. And yeah, it was a bit cuck watching us getting hammered every week, but it was quite lack of watching live rugby every second week. Cheers, brother. Enjoy that beer. You deserve it. Thanks so much, Carol. I really appreciate it. Every verse has its thorn. Like they can't stick to the structure, says Stormers. Well, here we go. 5-meter scrum. Scrum. On the right-hand side here, this is a big opportunity. What you want to do here is you want to put Damien Willems in a gap here. Well, it's a pretty solid-looking scrum, which means it will be a nice tackling opportunity. Damien Willems has got Ruan Null on his left shoulder. And they are going to go Damien Willems. They go flat Damien Willems. Ooh, he almost hits it. A nice carry from him. Quick ball needed. Comes from Evan Ruiz. That's a brilliant tackle. Oh, no, he reaches and he scored. Yes, the ref hasn't seen it, but he scored. It's over. How has he done that? Well, Evan Ruiz has just said, yeah, look at me. He's looking what's going to see in his eyes, and he's saying, this is not over, chap. What a reply. So they're checking to see if it's dull movement. It's a big tackle. I was about to say I was so impressed by the tackle. But he's allowed to reach, and he's gone through the legs of Harold Forster. Well, Harold Forster, bit of spread legs there. So in terms of what time the legs open, they were very open there. And Evan Ruiz is just, almost found himself in a bit of a controversial position where his head was, but he's reached straight through the legs of Harold Forster and said, thanks very much, chaps. We're going to go down there. Mani, you're going to kick us even, and we're going to be level after 45 minutes. What a start to the second half.
Given the okay.
John saying I want to play rugby ball. So we actually do have some merch. We're actually going to relaunch our merch in the next week or two. I never thought about doing rugby ball. You could do like mini ones. It'd be quite cool actually. Like a little one of like those size sort of things. That might not be the worst idea, you know. Well, Levi, no issue with that one, as you can see on the. He didn't take it from behind the kick. That's a very interesting. That's where he did take it from. Tracker going a bit. Tracker's on the beer, I think. Yeah. So we are. So yeah. So if you guys are interested in any merch, give us some suggestions as well. Let me know what you guys would be keen on getting. Want to try and do some cool t-shirts. Good restart there. David Willems is stepping himself out of a bit of trouble. That's a very nice contribution there from the inside centre. Blood Stain says, watch. Oh, you see, got Francois Stain in the comments here, chaps. France, how's the injury? Tested for Curly Owenser. He's wrapped up by CBS Nuttall and Diamani up towards the halfway line. It's a really good restart there from Stormers. But now Moscow will look to put the Bulls on the front foot once again. Solid carry from him as well. Now Zach Berger goes up. And it's high. And it'll be a good tester. Manibo goes up and is wrapped up by Kane and Moody. Now Stephen Kitsop putting his head down. Spicy Plum. Now Warwick Kalant will go to his right boot. Lifts it up and it's a bit chaser for Sergio Peterson. Aronson goes up and brings it down well, but he's wrapped up by Sergio Peterson. And a bit of pressure there from Dion Ferry, but it is available for Zach Berger. Marcel Coetzee. So all we're seeing here is a bit of a pattern. It's kick ahead from Stormers. The Bulls run 2 or 3 phases, and then Zach Berger kicks it ahead. And it's tested for Warwick Kalant, but Madosh Tamwe is there to make a use of himself. It does fall to Evan Roos, though. Dion Ferry spinning away from Ruan Nokia. Now Hirsch Yankees goes to Mari Liebach. Mari Liebach brings out that left boot of his. Straight down the park there, and it's Chris Smith, I think, who's retreating here. No, it's Zach Berger. I'm not quite sure what he's doing all the way out there. Zach Berger looking for a touch finder. Doesn't find it, though. Mari Liebach throws it inside towards Warwick Kalant. Now Warwick Kalant's got a bit of space. Brings out that right boot of his. He's turned a couple of players into this. Gets decent bounce, which it doesn't really. 50-22 was on. Madosh Tamwe there to clean up. Madosh Tamwe now boots ahead. Again, won't find touch. It'll go down to the throat of Damien Willemse. He goes inside to Warwick Kalant. Kalant decided to go chip over the top. He's got a lot of space, Warwick Kalant. And it's just not coming up. It just didn't fall up for him, but it does eventually fall to him. Oh, and the ball's gone a bit forward there. Curtly Aronson is going on a bit of a run. Wrapped up by Dion Ferry. Ball comes loose to Zach Berger. Zach Berger thought about the kick, and he's wrapped up by Sam Murat. Gives it to Chris Smith. Chris Smith under a bit of pressure. Goes to the left to Walt Steenkamp. Walt Steenkamp's got a couple of runners, and he's just tossed it to absolutely no one. And we'll restart with the line out. Pretty poor from the lock. No look pass, but unfortunately it went to nobody. Well, I'll tell you what, it was a good idea from Warwick Kalant because he chipped over the top, and there was acres and acres of space, but it just refused to bounce up for him. So there's so much space there, and it's rolling, and he's waiting for it to pop up to him, and it doesn't. So he kicked it into Chris Smith, and it eventually fell back towards him. And this pass had gone to Ham. Walt Steenkamp, you've got to look where you're passing, chap. And he's actually passed it to the Stormers physio. Dan Villiers has got down, which is not good to see, but he is standing up. Oh, no, I think he's off here with Damien Willemse. Apparently, Sachin Gomezulu's taking his tracksuit off. That's so... Hopefully this is not serious, because Damien Willemse is playing some of his best rugby at the moment, and the Springboks need him to be fit. He's got the number 23 jersey locked down. What are we at? Where are we at? Stormers has 8, not 10. No, they do have 10. Go Bulls. Says reverse knock on a lot, and there's only room for 4 5-4s and thing. Who do you want to win? I don't really mind. JJ Kotzer going to Diamani. Hirsch Yankees goes flat to Mari Liebach. Damien Willemse is still there. Damien Willemse, well, it doesn't look. Oh, he's knocked it on. Curtly Aronson is wrapped up by CBS and Nuttall. They're both the name in the Blitzbox Commonwealth squad, I believe, if I'm correct. Well, the ball pops up to oh, JJ Kotzer just sat down Cornel Hendricks. Cheers, mate. It is still available for Stormers. Long pass there for Kalant. Well taken by Mari Liebach. Long pass out to Diamani. Bit of space out there. Diamani trying to get the pass. Oh! That should be illegal. Inside ball to Hirsch Yankees. Oh, the kick not coming off. Madosh Tamwe cleaning up. Needs to try and outrun Salman Murat. He has done so. And now he puts in the clearance, but it's not going to go out. Dion Ferry is positioned back there. Right, Dion Ferry is just going to absolutely steamroll into someone. And it's Cornel Hendricks, and they've done very well to hold him up. But the ball pops up to Mari Liebach inside to Evan Roos. Evan Roos sees a bit of a half gap. That's where he's so dangerous. Gets away from 2, brought down by Mornay Smith. Curtly Aronson trying to jackal for the ball, but it's available for Hirsch Yankees. Goes to Warwick Kalant. Warwick Kalant, good tap. Oh, and Ruan now loses it forward. Ruan Nokia Goes to Chris Smith. Chris Smith decides we're just going to kick this downfield and we'll see what happens. And will roll into touch. What a passage of play there. Well, it was so well played by the Storm. It was really good handling. And then Herschel Yankees trying to drop the ball onto his boot and just couldn't quite pull it off. But some really good interplay there. That's more kind of what we've seen from the Stormers so far this season. But credit to the Bulls because they defended well. But this hit from JJ Kotzer on Cornel Hendricks. Cheers. Sit down. Bang. Bang, bang. And Daimani, this offload. I mean, that's Warwick Land driving off Daimani. That might be one of the best offloads we've seen all season. So where we at? So, Costa, I see what you're saying. Yes, he does have a lot of knock-ons again. I think we're talking about replying to Albert. The Bulls not use too much oxygen. Not like a beer, it's just as good as normal beer. Yeah, see, you don't get that buzz. Well, I think I've got a bit of my cheeks are flaring up after being sunburned and drinking beer. I'm looking redder than my bloody jersey at the moment. Right, here comes a rolling more here from the Stormers. A couple of comments saying, so best of from Vegas watching from Namibia. Laka. Karat says, Sean, what I'll call you. I love the way you drink a beer whilst giving the great commentary. My name's Steve. Steve is the name. Or Steven, or Stevie P. Stevie P is the nickname. Not a great kick there from... Oh, no, it's actually been fine. It's bounced in field. And yeah, you know, if you can't, I mean, if Supersport's not going to pay me the big bucks, I'm going to commentate myself with a beer in my hand, you know, because why not? No, good decision there from the... Oh, no, it's come off a Stormers player, though. So it should be a... Well, it'll be a Bulls... It'll be a Bulls... No, anyway, so... Stormers asking why Woke is kicking the entire time. Meanwhile, Ron Nokia has grabbed that. Commentary getter, says Ronnie. What a crazy pass to play. This is the way we like rugby. You're a star. Thank you, I try. Zach Berger under a bit of pressure. They've been pulled down by Marvin Ori, so Bulls need to send a few players into the ruck. Right, Zach Berger on the base of the ruck. Tester here for Sergio Peterson, and Madosh Tumwa's done very well to tap back to the side. Jan Krobelov's come away with it, and he's managed to keep it inside as well. Ball comes loose, and Kanan Moody throws it back to Zach Berger, goes to Gerard Steenekamp. Wrapped up by his opposite number, Steven Kitsoff. Zach Berger asking for a couple of players to chase. A lot of players are chasing. It'll be a test for Warwick Galant. His Stormers swan song. It has been knocked back towards the Bulls. So Steven Kitsoff is after it. Zach Berger grabs it, kicks over the top. He's going to chase himself. Marty Liebach has to get back here. He rolls away. But he's brought down by Ruan Nokia. Gives away to Warwick Galant. Warwick Galant looking for an offload. Gives... Oh, my living. That's a massive hit on Herschel Yankees. And Ruan Nokia has also grabbed the ball. All of a sudden, the Bulls in a good position. Long pass out there to Harold Forster. And Siaber Sanatla. That's a very important intervention he's made to force the knock-on. Oh, no, we're still playing. We're still playing. Salman Murat now. Oh, Salman Murat's bringing out the kick. I mean, what is going on here? And it's a brilliant kick. It stayed inside as well. Ruan Nell is causing a lot of problems here for Chris Smith. The ball's come off Curly Arns's head. Kanan Moody's now sizing up Diamani. He's just sat down JJ Kotzer. I just don't know what's going on. I'm lost. Yeah, Alexa, slow down. Let's just breathe here, people. This is ridiculous. Right, Zach Berger. Ball over the top there. Marty Liebach. Oh, he gets away from corner Hendricks. Brings out Ruan Nell. Ruan Nell steps inside. And Jan Krobler makes a good tackle. Josh Yankees go. Steven Kitsoff deciding to get away from Steenekamp. Oh, put the afterburners on. Oh, brings out the offload, who unfortunately runs to nowhere. Herschel Yankees dives on the ball and a bit of pressure from Arno Buerta. This is all just falling apart here, people. I feel like I'm watching an under-14 game where Oaks just don't know what's going on and the ball's just everywhere. Steven Kitsoff there just taking the hit there. And we just need to find a bit of... We need a bit of a touch finder. Like, we need to call like a timeout here. I'll stick it a bit there. Herschel going over the top. Oh, and that's lost forward to that burger. And Ruan Nell's come away with it. So Stormers inside Bulls territory. And who's got their beer in front of the camera? I mean, really? Curtly Orenser under a bit of pressure. 2 whistle blasts there. I'm not quite sure what we're going back for. But we finally have a break. Oh, breathe. Breathe. Oh, wait. Some of the comments. Corny says you like the Mark Goldbridge from rugby. But I've got better teeth than Mark Goldbridge. I'm the young Goldbridge as well. But oh dear, but looking at an extra thing. Well, JJ Kotze is off. I think it's HIA, so that's why there was a shrill whistle blast. But keepers, that passage of play was insane. Grant Swart says that offload from Diamond should be as legal as showing the game on YouTube. Yeah, in which case we're just going to have 400 people requesting it over and over again. Cheat says, can the Bulls possibly get 20 points here? Real saying coffee cups they sell best. Yeah, we are going to do Forever Sports coffee mugs. Oh, jeepers. Big clash in the head there from Ronald Hendricks on Ruan now. Albert says, looks like the game is starting to unravel. 50-50 players getting much. Johnson, I can imagine how draining a muddy field must be with all the kicking. Yeah, Evan Rusko got a cut on the side of his head, so he's getting attention. Rian says he's born and bred with pure blue blood. All I can say is watch the space. Quast says Jake White be looking like he is in his 80s. Rugby's aging him. Michaela's another Namibia watcher. So we've got foul play here, by the way. $13 what? Corner Hendricks is going to get binned here, by the way. Well, that is going to complicate things, isn't it? The question is... Well, Cornel Hendricks has been binned for the tackle on Ruan Nell. Ruan Nell was dipping a lot, and Cornel Hendricks has gone shoulder to face. So look, to be fair, I mean, it's one of those situations where they've actually looked at a mitigating factor, being the fact that he significantly dipped. Otherwise, it's not a red card, by the way. Sorry, let me just sort out a yellow card. Otherwise, he would have been in even more trouble. But that's a big moment. Now, JJ Kotze has gone off in the meantime. So Money Box going to kick for touch here, but Bulls now down to 14 men as Cornel Hendricks, one of their best players all season, will spend the next 10 minutes in the bin. And Andre Hugo Fenter, son of Andre Fenter, is on, and his first intervention will be to put the ball into the line out and not mess up. Well, there was a contest, but they have managed to grab it. And there's the yellow card for the Bulls. So it's a pretty good looking more here for the Stormers. Can they make that 14-man advantage? I mean, that 1-man advantage already can't. They're over. Is there grounding? Has somebody managed to go down? He's over. He's awarded it. Well, there we go. Andre Hugo Fenter. I mean, I think he's, what, 20 years old? And he's been on the park for less than 3 minutes. He is 20 years old. He's been on the park for less than 3 minutes. And the man's got a try to his name in the URC final. What a moment for him. Well, advantage Stormers. For the first time in this match, the Stormers are ahead.
This was after a stop had been called. So they had to make consistent momentum, forward momentum. On the call to go sideways.
What a moment in the game. Right, well, Manibok, this is a pretty important kick here, chap.
This URC
Right, go some of the comments, and they're all steaming in, so apologies if I missed any of them. I'm seeing a lot of Stormers emojis. I'm seeing Stormers emojis are kicking in. I must actually get some stickers. We've actually got some. If you remember, you can put shit like the Rassie Erasmus sticker out there. I'm gonna put that in now. Get the Rassies out. Look how bangy it is. Look at him. Look at him, old Rassie go. I forgot about these. We had all the old stickers going here. Look, I even got my own sticker. Yeah, look at me go. Sorry, I'm having fun with my comments here. Let me actually read some comments, shouldn't I? He has missed the conversion rather. So it remains 15 points to 10. But where are we at here? What are some people saying? Can't believe my Bulls are down. Ethan, sorry, Chief. I'm glad Steve is drinking your door, but shows he is rugby boy key. We are, dude. I mean, drink on the job if you can. You should. Papa says game slipping away from the Bulls. Early days. Still 20 minutes to go. However, the one-man advantage could be quite significant. Good restart, and Hershey Yankees now needs a good clearance. Curtly Arndt on the run there, gets around. It's a very well tackle by Damian Willemse. And the balls come out loose, and I think come off a Bulls player, so I think it will be a Stormers line-out, so that's a decent result from them. And the Bulls, the Stormers fans are well and alive in the chat. They've woken up, the Stormers fans. First time they've been ahead this game. Question is, do the Bulls have a reply? Let's let this go to extra time. Let's just spend the entire evening watching this game. Let's have a kickoff. Nah, I probably wouldn't do very well, actually. I think Monty Leibach would buckle next to Chris Smith. Rex Cooper, thanks so much for the super sticker. Really appreciate it. You guys are flipping awesome. You know that. Except for people that are saying that Tinder's overpriced. I mean, there's just no need. Tinder's free. Overpriced Tinder. I mean, come on, mate. Who pays for Tinder? What do you even pay for these days? I haven't been on Tinder in years. Wow. Pretty good mall this year from... I mean, there's so many bots. Get out of my chat. Out of it. Away. I mean, Andrew Hugo fan is making a break into the Bulls territory here. This is really good from the Stormers. I'm gonna get rid of these bloody bots in the chat here. Right, Evan Roos. Carrying up, the Stormers are inside Bulls territory. Suddenly, the tide seems to have shifted a little bit. Monibok trying to find a way through for the go. Doesn't, so Zach Berger decides to just hack it forward. The chase is on. Sibelius Natler under a bit of pressure here. Throws it inside to Warwick Lunt. Warwick Lunt's got a bit of time. He launched it down the middle of the park. Chris Smith has indicated going for the up and under. He lifts, he's going to have to chase his own kick. Hershey Yankees is underneath the toe. It's Sibelius Natler that comes in. It's a very nice take from him. It's available deep inside Stormers territory. Hershey Yankees goes flat to Shalmurat. And Janko Swanepoel's in the park. Now Hershey Yankees will Bosky from the base. He can't find touch here, so just be to find a bit of territory. Damian Willemse is chasing hard. Kane Moody. Damian Willemse went up and it's knocked forward from him. It was a really good attempt there from the outside center, inside center. Now Chris Smith is trying to find a bit of space, and he's fallen right in front of Dion Ferree. But it is available for Zach Berger. There was a knock-on advantage, but that's gone. Oh, it's a really good offload there from Runo Kia. Karastina comes in the gap. Damian Willemse making a tackle. Quick ball from Zach Berger goes to Kane Moody. Kane Moody just dabs it ahead. That's a bit... I don't really understand the point of that. Warwick Lunt and a bit of pressure. Slips, comes off Madosh Tamwe, and the ball will go out for a 5-meter line out for the Stormers. So that's not worked out terribly for the Bulls. Oh, that Bull supported. I mean, that guy's been on the drink since 8 this morning, hasn't he? I wonder how much booze has been sold across South Africa today. With all the schoolboy rugby, you can just see Warwick Lunt slipping with that kick. Comes off the knee of Madosh Tamwe. John Dobson's looking like a very stressed lad. And Bro Sapir is on the park as he looks to try and regain the form that saw him be included in the box squad and get Bok Caps all those years ago. Here come the subs. So Marvin Ory is walking the park. The last time the Stormers and Bulls played in the final was the 2010 Super Rugby final in Soweto, with the Bulls emerging 25-17 victors. Morne Steyn playing that game. I remember that was in Orlando Stadium. Good times, good times. Anyway, what a couple of people saying. Let me go through a couple of the channels. So, Callum saying he'll be really upset if Stormers win. Barton Baker says in UK, loads of wine and Poiki. Stormers are the best. Please, Bulls, come on, says Atasia. Good game so far, says Courtney. Gerard saying that Bulls last 20 minutes percentage play, kick to the corners, dominate from there. Don't allow Stormers to loosen up the game. They're too good at that. Ball attention, quick ball. They have gone short, have the Stormers with the line out there. Still a 14-man Bulls side. They got Stephen Kitsoff, who they've often been going short 2 during the game. Trying to create a bit of an angle. I would love to see John Dobson lifting this trophy, just because he's such a lacquer oak. Yankees doesn't find touch, but Josh Tumway comes away with it. Well, I mean, he originally missed the tackle from Turtle Piece and then ran back into him. It is available for Ambrose Pierre, who gives it to Morne Smith. 17 minutes left of this game. Ambrose Pierre going to Ruan Nokia. Now, Ambrose Pierre just shifting the ball back for his first box kick of the match. It's pretty well placed. It's circling, and the ball falls to Ulrich Lowe. Ulrich Lowe has his ankles taken, but he's inside the 22. And a penalty against the Stormers. It was against Warwick Halant, who was trying to turn that ball over. Now, decision time. You're down to 14. You've got 5-point advantage. Do you kick for the 3 and bring it down to 2 points? Because another penalty would put you ahead. They are going to go for the 3 hours. I think that's the right decision. Wind down the time. Get Cornel Hendricks back on the park.
Yeah, but you were saying go for the line, I'll drive, apply the pressure there. We see the Stormers players going off their feet there. The Vodacom Bulls still with 14 on the field. Cornel Hendricks.
So, Bulls will be able to kick themselves on 2 points here. Where are you now? I need to get like some music going in this thing and just have an actual party. Just gonna start sending it before we get to the box games. Right, so we got a bit of time. Do you think we could see for SAA game? I could see a Visa 8 low. No, I think you would. First of all, you'd see Jasper Visa at 8, and you'll see low on the flank. Williams 10, Willemse. I don't think we're gonna see Willemse at flower half. Esterhazen 12, Creel 13, Kurt Lawrence 11, Kalant 14, Fassi. Well, Chris Smith has struck that very well, as he usually does. Look, Atenda, I think there's merit in the players involved in your selection. I just think you need to rejig them a little bit. For example, I would have Fassi at 11, Orense at 14, and Kalant at 15 in that selection. Howard says the Bok coaches are very faithful to selection. Visa will replace Dwayne as it stands today, but after the first test, things could change, especially on the bench. Nice Bulls had the points. GJ says, Steve, who do you predict for the win? I don't know, actually. I think this game could go either way. I really do. Yeah, I think it's the right decision to take the points. Right, so the yellow card is gone, so I can get rid of that. So they are 15 versus 15. There are 15 minutes to go, and there's a 2-point advantage. This second half has been really entertaining. I've actually really enjoyed it. I also really enjoy how close we are suddenly to 12,000 subscribers, you beautiful people, you. Right, Ambrose Pierre lifts it high for Warwick Halant. That's a really good take for Warwick Halant as well. Under a lot of pressure there from Madosh Tambwe. It's available for Hershey Yankees, who goes to Evan Roos. Big tackle on him. 3 Bulls players started wrap him up and drive him back. Hershey Yankees brings up the boots. And it's going to be oh, straight off of Ambrose Pierre. The ball. Oh, David Willemse got away with it. Willemse up to the 22. Hershey Yankees flat to Diamani. Diamani inside. Up to the 5 meter. They try and drag him out. They have dragged him out. Little bit upright there was Diamani. Well, jeepers, that almost worked out brilliantly for the Stormers. It looked like it was going to be fairly straightforward for Ambrose Pierre, but it completely bounced off the shoulder/chest. All of a sudden, David Willemse came away with it, and Diamani had a lot of space. He's just very upright when he stepped inside, and Ulrich Lowe and I think it's Ambrose Pierre who had to make amends for his mistake. Have managed to bundle him out, but it is a bull. John Dobson looking very stressed with life. Ben saying Bulls sneak in the 5 minutes in the trademark. Reynolds says Sharks URC champs next year. South Africa the winners today. Big call that we all know the Bulls going to win, says Callum. I've got a song you can play. It's by Steve Hoffmeyer. Oh, come on, man. He's keeping my generation, yeah. Contender says, fun fact, in his last 2 outings for the Barks, Warwick scored 2 tries. That was back in the World Cup, wasn't it? John reckons Warwick for the 15. Right, so they're going to go with the more here. Are the Stormers? I was in their line out. Oh, did Diamoni manage to throw it back inside? Well, that changes things, doesn't it? All of a sudden, the Stormers, with Andre Hugo Fenter, are controlling things at the back, trying to find a bit of go-forward momentum to score another try. And Spiro Mantanzima's on the park. And Steven Kitsov's got a very interesting speedo on for that. Interesting selection for... Oh, I think it's a bit of a fumble from Hershey Yankees. No, Diamani. Strong carry. 5 meters out here. Neatly Bashir on the park as well. Good tackle on Spiro Mantanzima. Reserve prop on reserve prop. Now Andre Hugo Fenter. Oh, and David Williams taking a big knock to his head. He's down and clutching his head. So I don't think he's too chuffed with life. That could be the end of his game, you know. So, yeah, he's still down in the heap as David Williams. So Steven Kitsov carrying strong there. There's Sal Murata. First receiver goes to Warwick Land goes to Hugo Fenter. He's finding a lot of work for himself to do. It's available for Warwick Land. Goes to Netlin Bashir. Good follow tackler there. And Robert Hunt on the park as well in the scrum cap. Hershey Yankees goes Sal Murat. Now Dion Ferry. It's good defense so far. Bismarck Duplessis looking to try and jackal that ball, and I think he has done it. No, penalty for the Stormers. Now, this is decision time. This is decision time, isn't it? Because with 12 minutes to go, you want to round the clock down. It's also not a give-me position to get the 3 points, but 18 points to 13 suddenly mean that the Bulls have to score a try. So, big decision to make, considering they've only scored 1 try this week. Papier like paper, not French, but it's got an I in it, chap, so it would be papier. If it was paper, it would be like what? Like Yucca Paper, who's on the sideline today. Why does the box not clear? Cornell coach said box need to clear and fit. France, however, the cheaters just have to say it's okay. That's okay for box. The part of their press interview does not make sense. Well, the problem with Cornell Hendricks is not an injury issue; it's a heart issue. Edelman saying, thanks mate for the commentary. Good luck to the Stormers fans. You'll need it. Oh, they take it quickly here, and they almost ran into flipping the referee, and Willemse came away with it. Interesting tactic there for the Stormers. Steven Kitsov with the entirety of Cape Town Stadium latching onto him there. So they just start to take it quickly. Or as they're going to approach the last 10 minutes. Andrew Hugo Fenter has made a couple of meters there. It's not a bad carry. Oh, inside ball there from Hershey Yankees. Well wrapped up by Netlin Bashir. And Bismarck Duplessis towing the line there, towing the line. Yankees go to Zamani Liebach. Liebach goes out to Orkaland, and Madosh Tamwe's come off his line. That's brilliant defense. And just, this is going to have to be a penalty or slash turnover ball. It is turnover ball, but Madosh Tamwe, that's a fantastic intervention there by him. Such a good read. And Harold Forster's come away with it, so it is turnover ball. Nine Bros will Find a bit of territory. My Liebach underneath it. Brought down and tackled by Arnzer. A couple of Bulls players going for the counter rack, and Herschel Yankees will return the favor. He does slip on his kick. Ooh, it bounced a bit awkwardly for Ambrose Pierre. So he's fine touched just by 22, so it's a good result for Herschel. Just playing the game of margins here for the Stormers. They've just got to play in the right areas.
They try to trap it. It's the right thing. They try to trap it with their feet so you don't knock it on. But what's it completely? So the Bulls will be looking for territory. The Stormers, with all their territory, they want to convert that to something on the scoreboard. Let's track the gap. Where you go? Where you go? It's a very different statistic to what we saw in the first half of tackles, man.
Mr. Part where you support Steve. Yeah, I'm a Lions supporter. I say with lots of misery, unfortunately. Oh, yeah, trying to pause. Give me back to you. Bismarck Duplessis. I mean, Bismarck Duplessis is just busy grabbing and flaring out here. When do we ever see that? Well, it's touched from Warwick line, which means that this could be a Stormers line out. That's a very, very good kick from Warwick Land. Carol Smith was saying Dwayne's personality alone would have got him into the box squad. Need a Clippies and Coke. I need several Clippies and Coke. I actually might go and Joel after this. It's been such a good stream. One more member. I'm actually going to put it to you guys. One more member. In fact, two. Two more members. If we get to 30 new members, I'll go and Joel tonight. And I'll have all the Clippies and Coke. And I'll be thinking of all 2,819 people who are currently watching this stream. So if we get 2 more members by the end of the stream, I reckon I'll go and Joel. So you might see me. Where should I go, Joel? Who's in Joburg? Where are we joining tonight? D-Bok. Off the back of the line, lifts it high. Hasn't gone particularly far, so it will be contestable. Oh, well, a little bit of a boot there from Snatton. Well picked up from Damien Willemse. Herschel Yankee still in the park. It's a bit surprising that they haven't introduced Godlin Similar. Lily Bashir now just carrying up, and they just need to calm it down now, the Stormers. I can't believe the Stormers are 7 minutes away from winning. Mike Liebach lifts it in the air. Sergio Peterson's after it. Madosh Tumway's underneath it, but Sergio Peterson's come away with it. Sergio Peterson's got the pace. Ambrose Pierre makes the tackle, ball inside. Well, it's Creel who takes it. It's taken back, though. Look at the reaction. John de Jong, Namaklava, everybody, look at that. Sergio Peterson, what a take. What an absolutely brilliant take. And all of a sudden, it's a Stormers scrum on the 5 meter. Sergio Peterson drafted in for Leon Zas. What an intervention that is. And they're sitting on the reinforcements. Here comes Junior Pocamele. Here comes Ernst van Rijn. He got interrupted Sergio Peterson up against Madosh Tumway and came. And what he did brilliantly here was he rode the hit from Ambrose Pierre and just managed to stay inside. Looking for a player inside. So, look, Creel was well positioned to get in front of Evan Roos. But Evan Roos then just dragging Creel back over the line. Now, if Stormers could score the back here, you would think that would be one hand on the trophy, isn't it? And apparently starting a bit of rain on the side of the field as well. Oh wait, Lions, sorry. Sorry. Somebody watching from Afghanistan. Well, there we go. That's a first. Liebach left out 5 points. I hope it doesn't come back to bite them. It is a problem. 1 down for the jaw. Who's half of the ball? It's currently in the Stormers 5. Oh, the Bulls 5 meter rather. Stormers need a new kicker urgently, says GJ rather. Well, there goes the captain, Stephen Kitsov. I mean, he looks like he's been through in the trenches tonight, and he's been absolutely brilliant. What a take. Smith says, I've seen this link to my rugby buddies and my contacts. See what happens. Oh, fantastic. Love it. The jaw is in Cape Town tonight. What is a jaw? So a jaw is just a party. It's very much a South Africanism. A jaw just means, a party. It's literally a synonym. So when you say you're jawling, it just means you're partying. Yeah, I suppose we got to think about the South Africanisms we use, isn't it? Or a Kea. I love it. What's a jaw? No, it's a Kea. I mean, the international audience must be sitting there going, what the hell are these South Africans talking about? GJ says, I think it would have been 20 points 13 if Liebach has kicking boots to them on the field. Yeah, that's fair. Chance Farming says, good afternoon from Florida, USA. Thank you for the commentary. No, thank you guys. We are currently over 3,000 people watching, which is pretty amazing. So, Yeah, look, as I said, it's with 2 members out from Stephen going, partying, jollying, catering, whatever you want to call it. So you never know. 2 more members and Steve could be out on the town. On the town. Especially if we can get another 190 subscribers and we go past the 12,000 mark. There's just so much that there's up for you. Yeah, listen, I reckon, to be fair, Grant saying the party is in Cape Town. It's probably a decent shot. I mean, Long Street will be rocking tonight. It's a good scrum. It's a solid scrum with the new props. It's available for Herschel. We've got Money Libok. You've got Damian Willemse. You've got Ruan now. Who's gonna be the crash ball? It is Damian Willemse. Steps inside. Big tackle on Damian Willemse. That's a huge tackle from Harold Forster and Chris Smith. Now, Junior Pocamela is a good ball carrier. Does find a few meters. Needs to put them back on the front foot. Herschel Yankees gives it to Money Libok. Money Libok with the drop goal attempt. He's nailed it. I mean, where has that come from? Oh, look at that. Calm as you like. Well, that is a brilliantly timed intervention from Money Libok. I think he has just put Stormers one hand on the trophy. Look at that. Look at that. Out of nowhere, just go straight back and just a little bang. Well, we said that he had left 7 points out there. 6 points. 7 points? How many points did he left out there? 5 points out there. He left 5 points out there. And he's just nailed it. And he's just put Stormers 18 points to 13. Right, the Bulls have to score a try now. That's the situation. They have to score a try. And Willemse. Oh, gee, but that's a brilliant kick from Willemse. Just first thing. As soon as he got into his arms, he just wanted to kick. Mornay stay now on the park. That's the calm head that the Bulls need. It's a very good kick as well. In the right areas, but the Bulls need to find a try. They are 5 points behind with 5 minutes to go. And the Stormers, this is all about seeing. I mean, you can't believe that of all the teams. I mean, we were talking about how the Stormers and the Lions were just, they were going to battle the entire season, and the Stormers could be the first ever URC champions. And credit must go to John Dobson. What he has done with this team has been nothing short of incredible. I mean, a year ago, people were asking for John Dobson to be sacked. Like, people were asking for him to be sacked. I'm actually, Lacanio was talking about, I'm actually going to have to go call him out. Chongs, if you're watching, we're going to have a conversation, because I remember you saying you weren't sure about John Dobson. Well, the kick was charged down, and Ruan now has launched a kick into the Bulls' half. And Kurtley Arnser is backtracking. Kurtley Arnser slips, and Kurtley Arnser can only find touch. But that's perfect game management. They're going to take it quickly, are they? Yup. Warwick Kalan throws into Monty Libok. Libok goes to Willemse. Willemse decides to chip over the top. It's well read by David Creel. What's Creel going to do? Creel steps inside. It's a big tackle from Sibele Sinatla. Bulls with possession now. It's Imperial Mantanzima. They've got 3.5 minutes to get to the other side and try and find a try. If they don't find a try, Stormers will be URC champions. Ambrose Pierre lifts it high in the air. And Libok has knocked it on, I think. No, backwards is the call. Andrew Hugo Fenter comes away with it. Wrapped up by David Creel. We'll see those two coming together quite a few times in the next 10 years. Back to Molly Libok. Libok goes to Warwick Kalant. Warwick Kalant stands and just decides, I'm just going to hack it down the middle of the park by a few seconds. Ambrose Pierre now brings out the torpedo. And it's come off the chest of Warwick Kalant. It's pretty well played, actually. It's good to go. And now he chips over the top. He's chipping himself. Bounces the ball, well read by Madosh Tambwe, who runs into Ruan Nell. So Stormers just doing so well. It's playing in the right positions. Ambrose Pierre to Mornay Stain. Mornay Stain to Creel. Creel seeing a bit of space, but he runs to Brock Harris and Ernst van Rijn. But it's a penalty. I think it's for offside. Yeah, it is offside. Right, big decision here. So they're going to kick down the park and they'll have it put into the line out. One last opportunity here for Stormers. It's 2.5 minutes to go. Madosh Tambwe, a bit of cramp there creeping in. Well, the Stormers bench is all on their feet. They can't believe it. They can't watch. Shashan Gomezulu very much knows he's not getting any involvement here.
The coaching boxes can do now either. It's first of all, there needs to be a lengthy kick downfield.
So, man of the match. What do we think? What do we think for man of the match here, people? Any suggestions? Yeah, actually, I don't know. Who do we think for man of the match here, people? I think that Dion Farie's been very good. David Willemse, I think, has had a pretty solid game as well. Evan Roos has been pretty solid, a bit more quiet than usual in terms of we haven't seen any sort of trademark like massive runs. I think Diamani's been pretty good. I'll tell you what, old Stephen Kitsoff could have a good shot as well, actually, having said that. I'm seeing a lot of Roos. I'm seeing a Willemse. I'm seeing a Liebach. Bismarck Duplessis controlling things at the back. Well, the ball's come fitting at the back there, and it will be another Bulls line out. Knock on by Blue. So okay, there's going to the scrum here.
Just incredible. But it's come down to this.
1.5 minutes. The Stormers can pull off a penalty here. That'll be enough. I think that'll be it. That'll be them settled.
Seconds remaining. Attention to Marvin Orri. Just reflecting again on this incredible season where the South African sides.
Well, people, I don't know about you, but I have thoroughly enjoyed this final. I think that the first half was a bit scrappy. We had a couple of mistakes, a lot of handling errors, but the second half, they've really turned up the heat. It's been a fantastically entertaining final. They could have gone either way. And I just want to say that, 3,500 people watching. I never ever thought that we'd be sitting here with 3,500 people watching. So I think you guys get mad in the match for all of your or person of the match, people in the match, because there are lots of women in the comments, which is really cool to see. But right, big scrum, yeah, less than a minute to go. Stormers finding a penalty here. That should be it. Ambrose Pierre, well, that's gone to nobody. Curtly Arendse is cleaning up. Curtly Arendse under a bit of pressure there. Bulls can't afford to make a mistake. They cannot afford to make a mistake. There's 30 seconds left. Albert Lowe comes off the back of there. Getting up to the 10-meter line here. Robert Hunt. Are the Bulls going to ruin the Stormers' night? Bismarck Duplessis. That's a very good tackle by Sergio Peterson. He went nice and low there. Towards the left here. A long way for the Bulls to go. Janko Swanepoel giving it to Mornay-Steyn. Mornay-Steyn goes to Curtly Arendse. Curtly Arendse seeing half a gap. Curtly Arendse burst through. Curtly Arendse. He needs support. Madosh Tambwe's left it behind. And Warwick Galanta's kicked it ahead. But Mornay-Steyn... Oh, wait. That's Nutless. Nutless missed it. Curtly Arendse is pouncing it, but he's back inside his own half. And the shooter's gone. And the Stormers have got it. It's available for Damien Willemse. Damien Willemse is kicked it out. Ladies and gentlemen, the first ever winner of the United Rugby Championship are the Stormers. Stephen Kitsoff can't believe it. I can't believe it. I tell you who's going to believe it. John Dobson, take a bow. They were the best South African side. They were the third side in the log. It was a home final for them, and they have delivered. The Stormers are the 2021-22 URC champions. The first ever URC champions. Well, what a moment. What a game. What a team. A team of players who are not necessarily like completely star-stacked. I mean, obviously there are some incredibly impressive players. Steven Kitsov leading them from the front, Francois Herber. But how many players have just stepped up throughout the season to land this win? Monty Liebach couldn't make it at the Bulls. Couldn't really make it at the Sharks. He will finish as the tournament's leading point scorer. Warwick Lunt decided to go to the Cape to try and reinvigorate his career. Was ruled out for months after that injury. He has come back and he's been the form fullback in the competition. Damian Willemsen, the last few months, has been next level. Evan Roos, what an absolutely terrific season from him. The other stories, Brock Harris coming back. He was now URC winner. Dion Ferree coming back to the Stormers and bringing the experience that they needed. So many different stories, but look, all I'm saying is we've got a lot of Bulls fans, we've got a lot of Stormers fans in the comments, in the channel. All I can say to all of you guys is thank you for producing an incredible final. That was so entertaining. It was been so much fun. Big thanks to you guys. That's the end of the URC for us. We now move on to Currie Cup next weekend and then international rugby. But you know what? The Stormers deserve this. They were the best side throughout the competition from South Africa. They've pitched up tonight. They've put in a second half. They've deserved it. Final score, 18 points to 13. The Stormers will lift the URC trophy. They will be the first team name engraved onto it. To you guys, thank you for a phenomenal stream. Thank you for all the company throughout the entire season. This is the last bit of URC action we are going to see for a few months. So everything now points towards the international season. Please do smash a like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys for joining me. As I said, if you guys like to support the channel, please do become a member. The link is the pinned comment there. Thank you to the 28 members who all did sign up. It's been a fantastic ride, and we'll see you guys all during the week as we build up towards the international season. And yeah, Stormers fans, enjoy it. Bulls fans, you can be very proud of your side because it was a really entertaining final. But yeah, please do join the members club if you can. Please do subscribe if you're not subscribed. We are very, very close to 12,000, so we should hopefully get there in the next day or two, which would be really, really cool. Keep very well. Please do keep safe. Go out and enjoy your celebrations. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Steve. You can follow me on social media if you want. All my links are in the comments as well, in the description. And we'll see you guys all next time. Keep safe, keep well,